listeners. I'm going through Gaviscon like Peg.
Girls Gone Wild is the video that shows real girls flashing their goods during spring break week in Florida. But what about the hotties who spend the whole year in Florida? Now, they've got their own video. It's Golden Girls Gone Wild.
Who's in it?
Why, it's all your favorite Golden Girls. Dorothy, Rose, Blanche, and the always seductive Sophia.
I shudder to think what was under that dress.
Well, you won't have to think, because Golden Girls Gone Wild is 2 full hours of these ravenous retirees showing loads of wrinkly skin.
I am the most attractive and available woman in all of Miami.
Golden Girls Gone Wild. These hotties with hot flashes are going topless every chance they get, except when their arthritis flares up.
Now, I'll never be able to open my blouse again.
It doesn't get any sexier than this, but don't take our word for it. Listen to what the Golden Girls are saying about each other.
She looks like Abe Vigoda.
It's Golden Girls Gone Wild. Watch it just one time and you'll agree.
Dark day in the history of mankind.
Golden Girls Gone Wild. Call now.
9:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday to you. Mo and I had some very warm bonding moments this morning. Even little Beaner boy couldn't believe it.
Touching.
Especially when I put on those 2 muskrat rugs and walked in there, kind of waddled in there. Zach, try to compose yourself, will you? It's a good way to lose your job, Zach. Be laughing at the boss in there. Man, he was just chortling. He said he almost schmit his pants. He was laughing so hard. I thought it was lovely. And then Mo opened the door here a little bit later on and yelled in, what did he say? Something about real. Oh, he said, that was pretty good. He said, but you can't put real hair on a fake head. Haven't you ever seen a mannequin with a wig on?
True.
See, what Mo should understand is not only can you put real hair on a fake head, you can put fake hair on a real head. If anybody should know, Mo, you know what I'm saying?
No.
I didn't think so. He's slow on the uptake. So anyway, the exciting news, the new development on MSNBC. New development was they tore down another statue of Saddam in Kirkuk. And, yeah, they had the sound effect of it hitting the ground in Kirkuk. So that's the big thing now, is statues being yanked down by the Iraqi people. This is tremendous penetrating work there for the networks. New development. Here's our first facts of the day already, before we give the poll result and get on to our new poll and get on to a wild, fast 4 hours. Says, good morning, Neil. It's official. I'm not finished with listening to the Howard David show. Sorry to Goldie. Good luck in getting out of there, he says. Goldie was kind of like, he did chuckle a little bit. He tried to control himself, but he was chortling. Sorry, Goldie, to put you in that position. Howard David is such an egotistical, pompous ass, it says. He doesn't know Schmidt from apple butter when it comes to sports. He is a broadcaster who should be doing the traffic and weather instead of sports. This morning I just about drove off the road about 7:05 when Howard blurted out, the Islanders were the shocker of the night along with the Flyers beating the Leafs. He's a dumbass, it says. What are you chuckling about? It says he's a dumbass.
He didn't really say that about the
I don't know. It says, I hope you can get the tape. It says, if I heard it wrong, which is possible, then my apology to Mo, but I don't think I misunderstood. In addition to which, I think you're getting a little bit carried away because, quite frankly, the final score of that game has no bearing on the game itself. It was a grotesque performance. It says here on the bottom, go Leafs, but I'm going to tell you something. That was, to win a game like that still had me just puking. I was down on the floor puking my guts out at the end of the game. I've never seen a worse performance than the second period. Just absolutely hanging on for dear life. Final score, Philadelphia 3, Toronto 5. Oh! We'll take it. Andropov gets injured. Darcy Tucker gets injured. No loss there. But same old stuff again. Playoffs. Lots of injuries, lots of embarrassment, but still come out with a win. Nice going, boys. Also, it says in his facts, to get my mind off this incident and in honor of Golf Week at QAM, could you play throughout your show the drop of Tiger Woods? I like him. And what's the origin of that? I don't know what the origin is. You were telling me it's from some dumb movie?
Yeah, it's from Shaft.
And it's not our bit. It's a Mo bit. We don't play Mo's drop-ins on this show. We got enough of our own drop-ins. Okay? So sorry about that. And I'm sorry that Mo, his knowledge of hockey came bursting through again. One of those things. A lot of hockey knowledge on this radio station. Speaking of the Augusta thing, and I'm not going to spend any time wasting, I'm tired of that. It's just ponderous. We did have the Stanley Cup playoff series start last night, and all the way coming to work, the only thing I heard on the Mo show was about bad imitations of Hootie Johnson. Talk about a drooling Yahoo redneck. Good gosh, I hate to be redundant. A drooling Yahoo redneck. Just pathetic. And you'll notice how they've kind of changed their tune on this station a little bit, all these misogynist guys we got on here. Well, we don't agree with what he's doing, but that's his right. He can do whatever he wants. And then, to my amazement, which I was unaware of because I don't really give a crap about golf, Come to find out that Jews are still excluded from membership at Augusta. Jews. And don't we have at least three, maybe four Jews on this station I can think of who've been all along this last year defending? I mean, so, yeah, he can leave anybody out he wants. But CBS, in the meantime, is making it into a major spectacle and promoting it. That's the problem.
Right.
Not a question of whether he has a right to do it as a private club or not. And once upon a time, of course, before the elder came along, they excluded blacks as well. So obviously, the blacks had a much better and more threatening lobby than the Jews and the women. Of course, we should know that here. That's the way it goes. It's a Schwarzwelt. But the fact that they don't let Jews in there, and they've been on there hysterically, and you know, it's easy to do that. It's like supporting the attack on Iraq. It's the same thing. Look at the poll, stick your finger out the window, see which way the wind is blowing, and then say, oh yeah, these damn dykes, this Martha Burke and all these, they're a pain in the ass.
You didn't hear that caller they had saying that, it's tradition, it should never change.
I wrote it down. No, you got it wrong. Not just tradition. Augusta, the guy was up there 5 times, and then Moe went on to say, I've been there 11 times broadcasting that tournament. He said it was hallowed ground. I wrote it down, actually.
Sacred.
And you know what that reminded, hallowed ground. You know what that reminded me of? Reminded me of the day that Mad Dog got that call after the Hurricanes won that big game over, was it FSU? Was that the game? And then the Dolphins pulled out that big game the next day.
Right.
The caller who said, aren't we blessed down here, Jim? And then, of course, very soon afterward, the Hurricanes lost the national championship and the Dolphins choked and gagged in New England and blew the game in the last couple of minutes. Aren't we cursed down here, Jim? I mean, seriously, the people that the sports nerds attract on this radio station, they're scary. I mean, we got some scary people, but you know something? Even the scariest of our scary people, even the worst of our chronics, you know what I mean? Yeah, like that. Even the worst aren't in the same category with these sports nerds. They scare me. It's hallowed ground. No changes. There can't be any changes up there because you're right, it's tradition. They've been doing this for a zillion years. So maybe all you black folks out there are going to back and pick cotton on a plantation. They did that for 100 years too, and more. I mean, what does that mean? It's tradition. Bigotry has always been tradition. And when somebody comes along who's got the balls to say, hey, this is bullcrap. So I would think that the Jews on this radio station should be saying that it's a bigoted, nasty, it reminds me of the old Kenilworth Hotel on Miami Beach, owned by Arthur Godfrey. Or at least he was part owner, something like that. And they excluded, it was one, and of course in those times, in the 50s, it was commonplace, restricted. No Jews, no blacks, no, only good old, Goyim.
No Jews, no blacks, no dogs.
Right, no spics. You're out.
Damn.
And so the Jews on Miami Beach on a commission, actually, doing always the right thing, they rewarded Arthur Godfrey for his bigotry by renaming 41st Street Arthur Godfrey Road. And to this day, I still can't figure that out. One of the most notorious anti-Semites never ever hired a Jew to be on his show. Ever. And yet, it's the same thing. So why would you want to promote something that smells, it's the stench of bigotry and exclusion just, oh. And if you just saw this drooling redneck on there yesterday, I'd never seen him before, just still pictures.
Haven't seen him.
Oh my God. He makes Trent Lott, he makes, he makes Lester Maddox seem like Ted Kennedy. I'm telling you. Drooling Yahoo with a head accent, just a real, like Phil Graham from Texas, remember him? That drooling Yahoo redneck. We're not too crazy about drooling Yahoo rednecks on this program. I just want to mention that right up front. So if you're a drooling Yahoo redneck, don't take it personal unless you want to, it's just, I don't know. You're entitled to be a drooling Yahoo redneck, but just don't mess with anybody. Just stay the hell to yourself. Stick around with a lot of other drooling banjo Yahoo rednecks. I'm telling you, that's the way to do it. No Jews in Augusta. And he just mentioned that Moe in passing, just in passing, that he couldn't be a member. He didn't actually say Jew because that would be. He couldn't be a member, and Goldie couldn't be a member, and Robert Grieper. So when we're out there, by the way, thanks to the California Pizza Kitchen, and I only had a salad. Don't get panicky. That was a great salad with blue cheese and little strips of onion ring and chunks of real bacon. Man, that was good. They brought by tons of pizzas, and guess who was the first one out there in the hallway to observe it? Zach. Hey, Zach, you're not fooling anybody, you cow. I told him that. I said, but why are you out here? Oh, I'm just organizing it.
Oh, he's got the car packed with the leftovers already.
Yeah, I guarantee you, he's packing it. Quit packing it, Zach. You're gonna die. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna die. Something that scene from Fatso where he ate all the Chinese food in the car on the way home? That's what's gonna happen. There won't be a piece of crust from those 25 pizza boxes that Zach's got in the car by the time he gets home to his eating joint. I feel so bad for the fat people around here, you know. Thanks, Doreen, by the way. Speaking of fat people, she got range. She got all. What? She's fat. I mean, not real tubby fat, like a lot, you know. Not
she
for
almost
this
looks
place.
svelte here, in this place.
No, she's fat. But anyway, she still hates Moe like poison. Just in case you're on your way home to Boca, Doreen still hates you like crazy. And she said the only reason you were speaking to her this morning is because you had to come out there to get the free food. That's what Doreen said, you tub of crap Moe. And by the way, that thing was moving on his head this morning. I wish we had photos. We put it on our website of the tremendous performance I put on in there. It was great. It was sensational. Everybody was peeing in their pants. Even Geldy was like squirming around because he didn't want to like just totally crack up and lose his job.
I think the audience probably thinks that you're kidding, that you wouldn't
No,
walk out there
I'm
with
not
that thing in your
joking.
head.
I am not joking. We have, I don't know where they came from, but we
Right.
have some pelts of dead, what are those? Raccoons?
Minks, I think.
Minks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. If he'd have known I'd have been wearing a mink stool, he'd have really been impressed. Maybe that's why I tried to stick his tongue down my throat. But so I went in there, I just flopped it over the top of my head. Then there was, and of course I looked in there and he his eyes were rolling around like a pinball machine. And then I came back and we've got the one where the mink is like a raccoon cap. It's like with a head looking at you, but totally turned around like a yarmulke almost. And I popped that on there. And then of course at that point Zach dropped a load in his pants. And Moe actually said, nice job. Nice job. Looks better than mine. Something like that. And by the way, it does look a lot better than yours. How can you leave the house in the morning looking like that, Moe? Everybody's laughing. They say, oh my God, there's a 70-year-old man with a 200-year-old wig. It's nasty. Anyway, let's do the spot. See, I'm rambling again. And you want to know why? It's because George isn't here to interrupt me. God, I'm so glad he's not here this week. 12 minutes after 9 at 560 WQM. Have you ever thought about getting a wireless phone like everybody that's smart? Well, sure you have. You know how valuable it is to keep in touch with your business associates during the day, as well as being connected with your family at all times, especially like if you're driving around in this town. Well, don't postpone it any longer. Get it done today. Just call Wireless City. They're a T-Mobile authorized dealer. Call them now toll-free, 1-888-221-8080. And Wireless City folks will deliver today to your home or business that brand new wireless phone you're looking for, ready to use. Wireless City, a T-Mobile authorized dealer, can offer you service plans perfect for you, like their new $39.99 plan with 600 whenever minutes and unlimited weekends. Call Wireless City now, 1-888-221-8080. Call today and get you the new small-sized Nokia 3390 with vibrating call alert and hands-free, too. Just call 1-888-221-8080. Service agreement required. See printed materials or authorized representative at Wireless City for limited and complete details. Wireless City, a T-Mobile authorized dealer. Call 1-888-221-8080.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Go up those checkered pants.
So we need somebody to call in immediately. We're doing screenless again because Carlos is busy with the bedtime stories, which we got about 70 real good ones today, by the way. If you want the truth about what's going on in the world, look on our website. If you want bullcrap, watch MSNBC and CNN and especially Fox. Oh, man. I think that was a Fox pelt that I had in my head. Wouldn't that be bad? No, you're right, they're minks. Always wanted, that was my life's goal. I guess I've reached it to wear mink. This is bad news for you, by the way. Dr. Atkins, Dr. Bob, my good close personal friend, the founder of the Atkins diet. No, not quite, but low-carbohydrate diet promoter Dr. Robert Atkins was hospitalized yesterday with severe head injuries after falling on an icy sidewalk in New York. Atkins, 72, slipped and fell Tuesday outside the Atkins Center for Complementary Medicine, according to Richard Rothstein, a spokesman for Atkins. And by the way, neither one of them could be admitted to Augusta either, although he was admitted to West New York Weill Cornell Medical Center, where they do allow Jews, where he underwent surgery for severe head trauma. He fell on the ice.
I thought it was going to be a health thing.
Skeptic. Don't you start with your, this is a guy that weighs about 42 pounds soaking wet in a sink, and you're going to start in about diets? By the way, did you eat some of that pizza?
Yeah, the Thai one is great.
Good, there you go. Thanks again to California Pizza Kitchen. Don't do it again while I'm here, though, please. No, you saw what I ate. I ate the salad. Too much of it, though, was gigantic. But it was all Atkins okay. So now I can go out and slip on the pavement, just like in Amsterdam. Rothstein said the extent of Atkins' impairment is as yet unknown. He's in recovery now, and doctors are telling us it'll be a day or 2 or 3 days before we have the answers to these questions. Atkins is the author of the best-selling Dr. Atkins' New Diet Revolution, which emphasizes meat, eggs, cheese, and discourages well, we know all about that. We know the Atkins on this show, okay? We don't need any primers on that stuff, okay? We're experts on it. We just can't do it. So there you go. Let's pray for Dr. Bob. What do you say? Let's pray a little bit. Baruch atah Adonai, save the old doc. Here's the poll from yesterday. By the way, save Muff, too, while you're at it. Say a prayer for him. He's not feeling too good today. He said something about a little head cold. Here's yesterday's facts. Which of these sends you diving to the dial to change stations? Well, before we do the poll result, maybe we'll get a Jew report from Augusta. WQAM.
Yeah. I was listening to Neil before.
Yes, sir.
And I think made a mistake regarding the Augusta national policy on Jews.
Is it not true?
Last year, Sandy Weil, who's chairman of Citigroup, resigned his membership over the Martha Burke issue.
And so if he was on the board, then they must have changed that.
He's very Jewish.
That's another mistake on the Moe show, then.
Yeah, he's extremely Jewish.
Okay, thanks for the good news. See, another mistake for... Hey, Mo, another bad mistake.
No.
Yeah. Not only he said the Flyers beat the Leafs last night, that really hurts, boy. After we played a crap game like that and still won 5-3. Let's hear it for Alexander McGillney. Hat trick, baby. Man, he is so good. God, is he great. I'm not just talking about a great hockey player, just a great athlete, no matter any sport. Remember that year he scored 76 goals with Buffalo years ago?
No.
No, I knew you wouldn't. A long time ago. But he's just underrated. Doesn't give the credit he deserves. Alexander McGillney is God, baby. Nice going, sweetheart. Pretty upset about that injury to Nick Antropov. Not good, but I just mentioned that in passing. Any hockey interest out there?
No.
I knew it. So he made a mistake on that, and he makes a mistake. I mean, this is a major thing. That sounds actionable to me. You know what?
Slander?
When a guy comes on our air and says that Augusta would not allow him or Grieper, unless there was something else about it, and I even asked Grieper to make sure. Because he said that he and Grieper and Geldy couldn't be members of Augusta. I thought, well, maybe just creeps they don't want to let in.
Right.
That could be it. So I asked, so let's blame it on Mo and Grieper. Because I asked that professional self-hating Jew in a hall by the food there, I said, is that really true? Because I want to get my facts straight. And this first caller right off the bat blows that out of the water. Get your facts right, Mo, you silly old goose, my God. The same man that tells us that you can't put real hair on a fake head. I guess he's never seen a mannequin. A guy from New York, he should have walked by Macy's window many times. Huh? Looked in and just wished that he could have looked like one of those mannequins. I'm not talking about the ones that have like a real face, just the round ones that have no features, you know? You know the ones I'm talking about. They just have like the piece on top of the head. Sure you can. You can put real hair on a fake head and fake hair on any real head. Or you can also put fake hair on a fake head. It's mix and match, Mo. You'd make your pick. He was wearing his Thursday Finest today, by the way, the one that's puce gray. It was beautiful. It did move around a little bit. Once I went in there with the stuff on my head, it did start moving around. He was very animated. Anyway, we apologize for that error on here, but again, we got it from the Mo show. Sounds very, very actionable to me. I think he owes them an apology, don't you? Just because Hootie Johnson happens to be a drooling Yahoo redneck doesn't mean that they keep the Jews out of there anymore. Which of these sends you diving to the dial to change stations faster, we asked yesterday on our world-famous poll on NeilRogers.com. Marlins baseball, 317, Muff. 307. Oh, by the way, today is payday, Clarence.
Yippee.
Yeah. In case Clarence might be listening, in case he's awake yet. It's payday, sweetheart. I just mentioned that in passing, okay? So, needless to say, little Beaner boy, he's jonesing for his check. And naturally, I'm just sitting here waiting for mine. I'll wait till about 10:30, then I'm going home. Marlins baseball, 317 votes, winning by almost 100. They dive to the dial, and you can only imagine on the Marlins exhibition games, like the ones that we have at 12:30 and 11:45 that one day, interrupting this highly rated, high-paid show. Oh, man.
How do they justify that?
Greg, it's like George has a sports bar with a microphone, don't you understand?
Sports!
Greg is a sports fanatic. And Clarence, he's also a sports nut. That's why he don't care about our paychecks. All he cares about is sports. And also it's a gambling palace. Yeah, it's a bookie joint. Marlins baseball, 317. George's voice, 238, sends them diving to the dial when I hear little George mumbling. Religion talk, 209. That was the shocker to me. They're just burnt out. What are you shaking your head about?
That I'm surprised that we get such a response on that religion talk every time we do.
Who's we?
Well, the Neil Rogers show. I'm sorry.
You mean you and George? Are you telling me you put him up to it?
Nah.
Let's see. A week or so ago, you were wanting to know where the dancing in the streets were. Oh, I see. Randy from Margate. Yeah, okay. Hey, Randy, did you see the pictures of the people in the hospitals? Okay, the grotesque images, you jackass. See, I knew it wouldn't take long. We had about 2 of these yesterday, and now already we have one today about the people dancing in the streets. As most of the commentators pointed out, there was a very limited number, very, very small for what was supposed to be a major celebration. I mean, I'm happy for the Iraqi people. They're free from Saddam, but who knows what's coming next.
Well, Baghdad's a very small city.
And just like they're saying in Afghanistan, hey, guess what, guys? Maybe you'd like to come back a little bit more because it's getting really nasty here. Didn't finish the job as usual. But we never do. But this is another simpleton who's very, all his emotions, all of his views on life and the world come from his little 17-inch color TV. Myopic. Go see an eye doctor, okay? I think you're cockeyed. Now, did I get done with a poll? No, I did not, because I was interrupted by Randy from Miramar, who obviously has serious mental problems. Religion Talk 210. Moe Howard David's voice, 180, sends them diving to the dial to change the station. Racetrack Talk, 117. They don't want to hear those old cockers talking about Gulfstream, about the judge took their horse down and the 4 over to 127. They don't want to hear that crap. It is ponderous, and I agree. I don't want to hear it either. Golf Talk, 116. And boy, you'll hear Mad Dog at the Masters again today. More of that golf talk. More of that Martha Burke, Hootie Johnson talk. Geldy's voice, way down, only 65. See all this crap about, could he get an operation and change his voice? I mean, Greg, that was kind of silly, That was embarrassing. Is there an operation to change his voice? Make him sound like Walter Cronkite or Lester Holt. Huh? I don't think Geldy's going to be sounding like Lester Holt anytime soon, do you? I could be wrong. What do you think, Geldy? Only 65, 66, whatever it is. Hockey Talk, 44. How about those Leafs? Oh! And how about Ottawa folding up right off the bat, huh? That jockstrap Martin, 3-0. Right at home there to the very marginal Islanders. War Talk, 36, and Talk About Mo was in last place. They loved it, so they must have loved the 1 to 2 hour yesterday, because we had a Mo-licious hour. Talk About Mo had only 20 votes out of 1,347. Now here's today's poll, which is one that is going to require a lot of activity by the audience. And we already threatened with this yesterday what it was going to be. We teased it a little bit. Now that the U.S. has taken over Iraq radio and TV, what should be the first show on the air? This is what we're going to be building, Carlos, so get your other crap done. I realize I only gave you 75 stories. So you got a lot. Well, you don't have to answer the phone in between eating and just sitting there pecking around on that typewriter just to write some of these down. Maybe Eric can do it. I doubt it. He's busy. He's busy eating and pecking around. Now that the U.S. has taken over Iraq radio and TV, what should be the first show on the air there? And they are actually, now seriously, they are having a show today. Did you see that? Bush and Blair are going to be on with Iraqi subtitles?
No.
Yes. They've set up a special station, Iraqi Free TV, or whatever they're calling it. Yeah, that's true.
We should put somebody on that can talk, that knows how to speak.
Like I said, Tony Blair will be on.
There you go.
Here's I made a short list myself, and then, of course, you can add to it. I'm sure that's the idea. Are you hot? Somebody suggested that yesterday. The Iraqis I don't want to say this, but generally as a people, the ones we're seeing in the streets, not what you call a great-looking people, They're not exactly the Swedes or the Danish or the Germans or the Dutch or
we're just racist.
I beg your pardon?
We're just racist.
Are you hot? American Idol, the Osbournes. Oh, if they saw that Diet Pepsi spot, they would crack up. All this crap they've gone through, that would put a smile on their puss. Bedtime for Bonzo. Since it was Reagan and Bush won, it kind of left them here holding the bag. And Passions. Oh, and any of my Passions people out there, you must see today's episode. It is sensational. As Precious is ordering stuff here, you got a chimpanzee ordering from Shopping Network on TV with a credit card. And they got the dyke in there, the dyke nurse who's coming on to Beth now, and the old lady, old Mrs. Wallace, is warning her. It's a panic. And Luis, by the way, don't worry about him, he's okay. 27 after 9 at 560 WQAM. I'll tell you, this weekend, here's a great place to take the whole gang out, celebrate for all of these great things that are going on. Aren't there great things going on? Somewhere there must be. And that's the Emerald Coast Chinese Buffet with 3 South Florida locations, each one outstanding. They're in Pembroke Pines, they're in North Miami Beach, and, of course, in beautiful geriatric Sunrise. Start out with any of their 6 different soups, or try all of them if you like, all depending on how big and gigantic your appetite is. And I've seen some of you in there, so I know. And they've got dozens and dozens. Again, I want to say it one more time. I've never actually counted the entrees in there, but I guarantee you there are at least
About 30, man.
Probably more than that, entrees. Oriental surf and turf on the weekends. New York strip steak made to order in their gourmet center, which is a sizzling Asian grill featuring teriyaki steak and shrimp, chicken, seafood, hand-carved prime rib. And again, the Emerald Coast won't give you a headache because they don't use any MSG, they don't use any cornstarch, and they cook only with cholesterol-free oils. No crap. The buffet at Emerald Coast features a full salad bar, new sushi bar, fresh shrimp cocktail, and even better news, at the Emerald Coast, their famous Lobster Fest is back, featuring lobster thermidors and lobster bisque. Bring yourself a gigantic hearty appetite, and I'm sure you will, because they got a dessert bar to finish off your meal. That's amazing. Pies, cakes, pastries, ice cream with all your favorite toppings, and fresh fruit as well. 3 locations, Sunrise and Pine Island at 44th Street, Collins Avenue just north of 163rd North Miami Beach, and at the intersection of Flamingo and Pembroke Roads in Pembroke Pines. They accept reservations, takeout and delivery also available at the world-famous Emerald Coast. A lot of imitators, but believe me, they be the best. Call 954-572-3822. 954-572-3822. The Emerald Coast Chinese Buffet are unbeatable.
Live and local. This is 560.
The radio's all yours now.
QAM.
Done as dirt.
Stuck all day in front of my TV.
Yes.
And I get mad at most of the folks I see. I think Dan Rather is nuts, and Peter Jennings, man, what a putz. If you want my vote, you should watch Lester Holt. He works all day on MSNBC, while Peter Arnett drives him up a tree. Shepard Smith's a major tool. CNN's Aaron Brown is a fool. If you want my vote, you should watch Lester Holt.
You're the boss.
Well, he's so smooth, he puts me in a trance. He makes me feel funny in my pants. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gay, but I tell you, man, if I went that way, it'd be paradise, just me and Lester Holt. Champagne on ice and double locked the deadbolt.
9:33, so leave it to our audience. The first fax I get, look at what it says for the poll. Now, didn't I already say that? That was my, that's already on there. Eric has put up the preliminary, not for the audience in general, but just for my perusal. It's already on there. The Osbournes. God almighty, what is wrong with this crowd? In fact, I even went through that whole thing about the Diet Pepsi spot. But these people, they don't listen. Maybe they got waxy buildup in their ears like I've got. Now that the U.S. has taken over Iraq radio and TV, what should be the first show on the air? So far we've got, this is my short list, my short one. Are You Hot, American Idol, The Osbournes, Bedtime for Bonzo, and Passions. You know, put something on there with a little humor to it. Don't put anything deadly serious on there. Give him a little chuckle. Just a little chuckle. Yeah, like that would be good. Maybe just that sound would be good. Play that over loudspeakers all over the country. Right? Listen. How could we go wrong? Put a smile on their faces. Yeah, to show them we got a good sense of humor. Don't play it too close to the hospitals, though, by the way. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Mike Oxlong votes for I Dream of Jeannie. She was always flying off to Baghdad, so they know we're all ready. That's not bad. Put that on there. You got it? You do? How do you have it? You're sitting there with your hands on your thing.
Just typed it.
Oh, I see. Oh, boy, he's not wasting any time. In other words, we're not making this a 5-process deal.
Nah. Well, I have to email it to Eric so he can put it on the poll.
Don't say you're going to email it to Eric, okay? Every time I hear those words, I start pooping my pants when I hear you say that. Because he just has trouble getting emails. Not from anybody else, just from you. He doesn't get your emails. He's got it blocked out. WQAM. WQAM.
Hey, what's up, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hey, concerning the worst sports talk show host in the history of the world, Moe Howard David.
Yes.
You were talking about how you could put real hair on a fake head or fake hair on a real head.
That is correct.
But in his case, wouldn't it be like really fake hair on a dickhead?
That's a good point. Oh! Wow. 567-0560, pound 560. I'll be sure to pass that along tomorrow when Mo and I bond again. We're getting so tight now every morning, it's quite an affair. He also told me to go myself, and I said, back at you. That's a true story. WQAM.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Fine. Great show.
Yes, it is. I'm having a good time.
Yes, you are in great, wonderful form. Let me tell you, I think the show that should go on in Iraq, although I'm afraid it might cause a counterattack, is that damn Phil Hendry show. That would show them how truly hateful and venomous.
Are you sure?
Have you heard him? Keep your blood pressure down.
Yeah, I've heard about 5 minutes. That's all I could take.
I mean, he's worse than Rush Limbaugh.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's trying to be Rush Jr.
I mean, but it's sincere. That's what's scary. I mean,
No, it's not.
Oh, man.
I don't believe it.
He's screaming at people who call in and disagree with him. I mean, his blood pressure is sky high.
He's got the memo from the people at Clear Channel. He knows which side his bread is buttered on.
But Neil, I mean,
To me, that's what makes it even worse, is that I don't believe it is sincere. He's pandering.
I can't believe it because he's too vain to eat crow that completely and profoundly.
Okay.
And I wanted to tell you too. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. For what it's worth, Randy Rhodes speaks very well of you on the air.
Oh, I actually tried listening to her yesterday on 1290, but I could just barely hear her, and even in Broward, you can't get that signal very well.
I know. I was thinking.
And I heard two of her callers, and believe me, she's doing a good job, and she's trying her best, but the callers, it's like light bulb radio all over again. It's just not for me.
Right. It's.
Good luck to you, Randy. You'll need it, sweetheart.
She likes you, though.
Talking about old yentas. Okay, and the feeling is mutual. Have a great day.
Okay, bye.
Randy likes me. There you go. Just calm down, Randy. Quit taking yourself so seriously, but you're doing a wonderful job. Too bad you're not on a station like a real market where somebody could hear you. Somebody says Dallas. I put it down, but I don't know why. What? Huh?
What the hell would Dallas?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm asking you. I don't know what the significance of that is. Maybe J.R. Ewing. I don't know what that means.
In the desert? The Texas desert?
No, they don't have a desert in Texas.
But it's dusty.
Oh, is this a putz?
It's dusty.
Yeah, it's musty and dusty. Just put it down. Don't ask. It is not for us to ask. We just take orders. We're just here following orders. You know what I'm saying?
You understand the Gestapo keeps track of everyone.
That's why we're following orders, real dutifully. WQAM.
Yes, hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. I would like to nominate the South Park movie.
South Park would be good.
Well, the movie, because they show Saddam Hussein and Satan having gay sex. It is perfect.
Okay.
You have a good one, Neil.
And
God
you too. Thank you so much.
I am above the law.
That's a great scene. That whole Saddam thing in that movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, are you fucking kidding me?
22 till 10 at 560 WQM. What's going to be a great Thursday. I can smell it already. Either that or Mo left that piece on a chair in there and it's wafting all the way down the hall. Maybe that's what got Muff a little under the weather. Maybe it was down. He was downwind from that crawling thing yesterday. That Mo was. He was spending too much time out in the hallway. We have agreed. I hate to say this, but you know me. Honest to the point of painful. We've all agreed. We took a poll, all three of us. Although Doreen wouldn't agree because she still hates him like poison. She said, I asked her how the food was out there from California Kitchen. She said it was malicious. She did. She really said that. See,
I heard her.
But anyway, we've agreed that there's about 5% of Moe Howard David that really is a hoot. He's a hoot, like 5% of him, like a wrong gene got into that body and doesn't really fit there. The other 95%, you wouldn't spit on the best part of it if you could find it, if it would sit still on his head. But there's about, Mo, if you could just try to clone that 5%, I mean, we would love you. We'd have a great time, but you don't have it in you, because you're a bag of pompous wind. That's the problem. Just like Skippy, he's a bag. What do you got for us today? No goods? Don't come in here without any freebies. Yesterday I came with my Oleomed, which I thank you profusely. My blood pressure, by the way, is much better since I'm popping my Oleomed blood pressure formula. It really is. Down about 10 points or more. And he's looking at me like, oh, really? That crap really works? Yeah, that's you, Skippy. You're not fooling me. You know, just take the accounts that you inherited. What's the story with you and Screw Ann back there? Are you servicing her or something? Because she sure gave you a lot of accounts. For a little guy, he must be packing something that, fooling everybody in this building except her, I guess. Not quite like Roy, but second best. 20 till 10 at 560 WQM. Hey, listen, speaking of idiots, how's Todd Dreck doing? There's a real schmuck for you. If you're in a dead-end job working for morons, call Fast Train and get yourself a real job and a real big fat paycheck. Speaking of paychecks, by the way, is Clarence in the building? Payday, Clarence. Call 1-866-FAST Train to get started in a new high-paying computer job. This isn't a joke. This is for real. In just 4 short months, you can be out of your dead-end job. You can tell your boss to kiss your ass and kiss him goodbye forever. Just call Fast Train at 1-866-FAST Train. They'll tell you how to get yourself started. They offer convenient day, evening, and weekend classes. Check them out on the web at fasttrain.com and get out of your dead-end job. And because of the fact that they got locations all over town, there's bound to be one nearby where you live. Fast Train's got locations in Miami, Kendall, Pembroke Pines, and prestigious Fort Lauderdale. Register at fasttrain.com to get your free American flag bumper sticker, too, and wave it in the breeze. Pick up the phone and get yourself on the road to a great new career and a real serious big fat income. Call Fast Train today at 1-866-FAST-TRAIN.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Just jumped in the taxi cab. I said, driver, Central Park.
That'd be funny.
He looked at me so quizzically, I could tell he was in the dark. So I acted out my park charade, and with my arms the trees I made. Nobody speaks English anymore. I went down to Miami Beach where the weather is nice and sunny. I walked into a liquor store, but the guy there talks real funny. I asked him for a pint of old Jim Beam. He says, no entiendo. What does that mean? Nobody speaks English anymore. At the corner deli. Hell, I think I'm in Pakistan. Speak English, smelly asshole. Or you can go back to Iran. I came here many years ago. Learned my ABCs. I don't say muchas gracias. I say pretty please. So get yourself to a classroom quick. You're in America now. Stop making me sick. Nobody speaks English anymore.
945, 560, WQM. Okay, so we got a couple with Oprah. I don't know why, but it's not for us to ask, Maybe they want to see what real fat, disgusting people who make $1 billion look like. And then we got Saturday Night Live. Get that on there, give them a chuckle or two. The Gong Show, some old Chuck Barris reruns. Here's a fax from a listener. George says the TV rotation for Iraq is already in the Baghdad, Gunsmoke, The Wild Wild West, and Bonanza. Any of those you think? Oh. It says, I wonder how long it'll take Mr. Mouse to get fired up that Eisner can't even crack the Iraqi market. Well, for that you'll have to ask
Eisner
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. As we're building a magnificent list. You can, Eric can actually put up the thing. I mean, he's got, you know what I'm saying? How many of you emailed him so far? None?
I just emailed him the group of everything we've done since you
Bedtime for
faxed
Bonzo and Passions on there also?
Oh, you didn't fax him that? That wasn't at the beginning?
No.
Oh, okay.
Get those on there. Bedtime for Bonzo is important, okay? Ronnie would like to tell, he forgot the phone number. He'd like to tell the people over there if he could find out who's in charge. And Passions, of course. I still say, if you haven't seen Sheridan, all you heteros out there, man, Sheridan on Passions, she is, I can't imagine a more beautiful woman on the face of the earth. Okay? Give me a look like that. I'm just telling you. She's blonde. She's beautiful. She's got a great body. She's everything you'd want. But because it's a silly ass, not even just a soap opera, but a comedy soap opera.
I've never seen her. That's the only reason I gave you that look. I'm just impressed.
I'm telling you.
It's a pretty big endorsement.
If I was of your persuasion, if I was a little spick. WQAM.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
How you doing? I love the show. I've been listening since May 1998. But?
But?
Yes, but.
Is there a big button here?
Mine is. I always know when you're about to make a drop because I hear that keyboard tapping.
Yeah.
See, like you're doing right now, I can hear it.
Yeah, I did that because you just said it, see.
Yeah, see, it's like...
But I'm not playing anything, but I just did that because you said it.
And also, is it possible that all talk show hosts just have, like, some kind of psychic ability? Because whenever I'm about to say something, you guys, like, answer my question, like, not even a millisecond after I say it.
If there's a but, I smell it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did that for you.
Love you, Neil.
Yeah, I am a psychic. Miss Cleo is a piker compared to me.
Hey, can George stay out permanently and keep Carlos there?
We're working on it.
Let George...
I'm liking this call better by the minute.
Let George take all these effing Cubans down here in Miami and take them on a big cruise ship back to Cuba. Cause
yeah, but
I ain't no Cuban.
What do you say? At the end there, he just got a little bit carried away. Something about... I don't know, he don't like you Spicks is what he was trying to say. Well, Beaner Boy's a little... he's a little one. That's what Moe said. 5670560 pound. You know, in that whole hour I did yesterday, we never played Moe Rapes Carlos. Never got to play that. Don't want to overdo that because it might actually come true. WQAM.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Hey, love your show. I don't agree with you every time.
Why not?
Because we're two different people.
I see.
Okay, but understandably, please, just do me this one favor.
Maybe.
Keep that Beaner boy off the damn air.
Has he said anything today?
Yes, he has. I can't
What did he
stand
say?
that damn fucking Beaner boy.
That
was going
cute.
so good.
That was excellent. He said he can't stand that King Beaner boy. Well, goes to show you, no matter who he's sticking there, all right off the bat, because the audience is picky, okay? They got, although George damn near won that poll yesterday about what sends you to the radio to change the dial the fastest. Sounded George's voice. Well, you talk about a chronic faxer. I mean, generally good faxes, but good God. It says the funny part of the Moe show this morning was him trying to do a Hootie Johnson. Yeah, I heard that. It was so lame. His impression was not funny. But when Moe asked the caller what he thought of it, the caller said it was bad and he was being serious. He told Moe it sounded like a New Yorker. I think it upset Moe's feelings. Now, and then Geldy took some shot about Staten Island. Of course, Geldy talking about how somebody sounds, you know, is really kind of silly in the first place, Geldy. Butch up a little bit, you twerp. TV show Baywatch. Now we're talking. Yeah! That would be good. Baywatch. For all those frustrated Iraqis. Although, quite frankly, from the way they've been reproducing, I don't think they're as frustrated as some might seem, huh? Well, what else are they going to do? Evidently, he's been letting them do that when nobody's watching. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. With the U.S. taking over Iraqi TV and radio, what should be the first show on the air? Here's our short list so far. Are You Hot? American Idol, The Osbournes. I don't see any other ones up there yet. Are you going to send this to him or are you going to delay? I think that last caller was onto something.
No, I sent it to him already.
Well, he doesn't have it yet. He is as slow as molasses on a July day in the equator. God, is he slow. He just told me to say that, Eric. Don't take it personal. He just slipped me a note, said, rip him an ass. Bedtime for Bonzo, Passions, I Dream of Jeannie, Phil Henry Show, because he's...
Are you sure?
Dallas, South Park Movie, The Gong Show, Saturday Night Live, Oprah, and Baywatch. Hopefully not the ones with Pamela Sue Anderson, because George will get really upset. I don't know.
Are we putting any of those Gunsmoke Bonanza?
Yeah, put Gunsmoke on there. That would be good. Gunsmoke. Although probably that would be rubbing it in. But you can put it on there anyway. I guess by now they're probably used to it. Especially the smoke part. God. Man, can you imagine what breathing the air must be like there? Whoa. And they also have a shortage of water, I'd like to point out. We got some really good articles on our website today that Beaner Boy's busy putting on there. Don't be ripping Beaner Boy, okay? He's working his ass off to put that information on there. Also, I heard Moe and Geldy make reference to this. It says, although the fate of Saddam Hussein is unknown as his rule crumbles in Baghdad, he's thriving as a collectible on eBay. During the 3-week war in Iraq, collectors have swamped the internet trading site with more than 1,000 items, including Iraqi money, T-shirts, and videos that capitalize on Saddam's notoriety. One seller touting the Saddam dinar, one of two currencies used in Iraq, was quick to advise his item is a piece of history certain to grow in value when the war is over. And like I said yesterday, when Rimmer hears about those free dinars, he's going to be over with a fork and spoon and knife. With the current world situation, chances are this will be the last currency available coming out of Iraq, at least with Saddam's picture on it, the seller wrote. Iraq's Saddam dinar was by far the most popular item, with some auctions fetching about $40 for a few bills. They're fetching and work fetching. At the end of March, $1 could be exchanged for about 3,000 of the Iraqi bills. A search for Saddam on eBay, what is this? A search for Saddam Hussein on the eBay website yielded 900 hits involving a wide variety of items associated with him. This particular story from CNN isn't as good as the other one that I passed on about they've got heads, Saddam heads like the ones that they yanked off the statue and they were dragging around Baghdad. They've got those as well.
Well, like, are they mass producing them? What do you mean?
Yes.
Those?
Well, not the one from the state. Do you realize that was, what was that made of? Was it granite?
I heard bronze. But...
I'm sorry, bronze. That's why I said bronze.
Okay.
Don't take it for granted that I know what I'm talking about because I'm incoherent from that food this morning. It was very good though, but don't do that again, Doreen, you bitch. For anyone eager to get Saddam's autograph, 15 bidders have pushed the price of an autograph photo of Saddam to $203. An autograph photo of some. You know, see, it goes to show you. What did I say during that OJ golf tournament years ago, huh? Same thing. Some of you people have no principles at all. Here's a guy that killed 2 people in cold blood. Well, it might be worth something someday. Oh my God, give me a break. Talk about a total sellout. Autograph pictures of Saddam Hussein. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm going to tell you right now, as much as we may have very, very serious political differences, we're going to get the names and addresses of those people off eBay and send them to the Bushmeister. That's right, we're going to send them to Hermann Goering Rumsfeld personal. You'll notice, speaking of Hermann Goering Rumsfeld, that at his big pompous thing yesterday, he was hyperventilating about Syria once again. He's not just dropping that in there for the fun of it. There's a message in there like, hey, they keep saying, well, the troops are exhausted and they want to come home, which we can certainly understand that. But I have a feeling they're not going to be coming home. Not directly. They're going to make a slight move to the west, but not very far. Syria will be next. That's what they got in mind, if they can get away with it. Syria's going to be next. That's what they and Ariel Sharon, their other good right-wing Jew buddies in Israel, have got in mind. That's what it's all about. Tragic. And those are the rest of us Jews that we can't even get into goddamn Augusta, according to Moe. Hey, Moe, get your facts straight. That's really an outrageous comment to make. So we either have to trust him and Grieper, or we believe the caller, who made a good point, and that is that the guy who resigned over the Hootie Johnson, Martha Burke business, the women business, that guy was obviously Jewish. And if he was on the board of directors, he's obviously a member. So let's find out who's telling the truth and who's full of crap. Huh? Let's investigate this. Is this thing up here yet? Because I'm voting for Passions, I'll tell you right now. I think it'd be talk about putting a smile on their face. Then, of course, once they saw Sharon, whatever her name is. Not Shannon. Shannon, that's a real throwback to some other stuff that we had on the show long ago.
Shannon, I Faulkner.
Yeah, that's right. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. Oh, look at this. NBC camera catches battle under Baghdad Bridge.
It's also illustrative, I think, of the fact that the real problem is rapidly becoming one not simply of cleaning out these few holdouts that are holding out for whatever reason, but then figuring out how to start restoring order, stopping the looting, and getting the city back to normality.
Yeah, there may be more like that.
And Colonel, how long will that take, do you think? Weeks, months? How long can we look forward to more skirmishes like we're seeing here?
I would guess that these kind of skirmishes will probably start dying out very, very rapidly as it becomes clear to whoever these guys are that there's simply nothing above them and that they're completely on their own.
Yeah, but we want to know how many days before this winds down, Colonel.
About 30, man.
Here's the fact says, here's the info you wanted. I led 3 lives, the fugitive, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and definitely Gunsmoke. Well, 1 out of 4 ain't bad. Thank you, Gene. Gene Rogers, good guy. Probably related somewhere along the phony family tree I've created. Let's see, now that Saddam is gone, assuming the rest of Iraq goes away, I have one basic comment. I feel much safer and secure now, don't you?
No.
No. Did this make a scintilla of difference in any American's life other than those killed or maimed or tortured over there and their families? No. As for a real show, The Price is Right and Hockey Night in Canada. Not the broadcast they gave last night, I'll tell you that. Somebody poke Bob Cole in the ribs, will you, please? Hey, Coley, talking about a bad head of hair. Man, get with it. He was just awful last night. Just horrible. Awful. And Harry Neal, poor Harry, wasn't too much better. Talk about the blind leading the blind. That was a bad telecast last night, on CBC? I'm embarrassed for you guys. Now, we've read this thing from Hermann Goering, how many times have we read this?
About 30, man.
My God, get with it already, okay? We appreciate the faxes, but we read that line from Hermann Goering. See, I got indigestion now. I'm grepsing from that breakfast. It was delicious. I just can't be eaten, okay? You know that. I shouldn't have done that, but it would look great. Did I eat any of the pizza?
No, it looked healthy too. All you ate was a salad.
Oh, stop. Looked healthy. See, this is such... Don't lay that crap on me, okay?
If it's green, it's not healthy?
Yeah, well, first of all, it wasn't green. The salad part was green. That's the part I threw out. Nobody eats the greens. Are you crazy? I had the blue cheese, and they crumbled the bacon stuff. Not the bacon bits, but real bacon. And what was on it? And of course, the little tiny onion rings. Not big onion rings, because that would be bad, but little skinny ones. Seen plenty of those. 9:57 at 560 WQM. Hey, I'll tell you what, maybe you want to put your little skinny one on a great mattress. Dial Mattress can deliver you one of the finest mattresses you've ever seen in your life, and you can put your ass and the rest of you on it and get a great night's sleep tonight and this month and next year and for years to come. Just call 1-800-MATTRES right now, and it guarantees you and your back a great night's sleep, like I said, for a long time. They carry only the best. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you can pick from Sealy and Serta Simmons King Coil, every size, every style under the sun. You want a twin, you want a king, you want a queen, they got a Dial Mattress. And, of course, they deliver when you want any to our window that you pick out, when it's convenient for you. You can't beat it. Prices are everyday unbeatable low prices. Dial Mattress is ranked number one in customer satisfaction because they know how to treat you right. They've got more repeat and referral customers than anybody on the planet. Once you buy your mattress over the phone from Dial Mattress with one easy call, you'll never go back to racing all around town, comparison shopping, wasting gas, time, and money again. And don't forget, when Dial Mattress delivers your brand new mattress, they set it up and take away the crappy old bedding for you for free. That's right. Dial Mattress sets up the new and takes away the old bedding for free. So make the call right now. They'll be there knocking on your door when you want, no time at all. Call 1-800-MATTRES. That's 1-800-MATTRESS for Dial Mattress, the easiest, the smart way to get you a great night's sleep for years to come.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The first war plan has failed because of Iraqi resistance. Now they're trying to write another war plan.
People say have to wear signs to say I'm stupid. That way you wouldn't rely on them.
The first war plan has failed.
I say, tie not that old news tale before he runs away.
Here's your sign.
You are a blabbermouth! The first war plan has failed because of Iraqi resistance.
Here's your sign.
You are the leading in the station.
Dad, kindly shut your damn plant hole!
10:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday, too. We got the Mad Dog with his last day in Augusta up there, where they do allow Jews, and they do allow blacks, but just no women. What about black Jewish women? Definitely not. Carlos is shaking his head. In fact, he spun it all the way around one time like Linda Blair. What do we got? Hank is in the studio at 3. Marlins on Drek at 6:30. 7 o'clock, 7:05, Marlins and the Mets. Marlins won last night. 3-2. Anybody interested? Ed Kaplan after the baseball game and Joe and Mark overnight. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And again, see that? 10,000 in some odd. Just barely over 10,000 the announced crowd, of which probably 6,500 Mets fans. Well, there were 4 raindrops last night in the vicinity of the stadium. Huh? That's a good excuse. Boy, it's pretty sad. And like I said, quit beating a dead horse, okay? There's nobody gonna come out, okay? They don't care. I understand this is supposed to be a sports station in a town where nobody cares about sports other than the Dolphins, the choking, gagging Dolphins. The highly overrated Dolphins. Boy, do you think that they'd like to have Tommy Brady at quarterback, the Dolphins?
You kidding me?
Oh. Shouldn't say that so close to Passover, you know what? Jay will take it personal. The Rat Patrol and F Troop. I don't think so. I mean, don't take it personal. There are just too many suggestions on here. We can't have 600 names on the list because then Eric will freak out. The list is up, by the way. South Park Movie is winning 9, Gong Show 5. It just went up moments ago. Stephen in Scottsdale, Arizona. How's it going, Stevie? Among the TV shows the newly freed Iraqi should be subjected to... Oh, yeah, I agree with this. Benny Hinn on the Trinity Broadcasting Network. Benny Hinn. Just put Benny Hinn. H-I-N-N. Benny Hind. Also, somebody said the Jerry Springer Show. Definitely. Neil Rogers Show.
Oh, God.
Sure. Caliente, which is on Saturday afternoons, I guess, with a lot of hot naked babes or something on Spick TV. And one more. Tom Green Show before MTV screwed him all up. I agree with that. Get them all on there. Got them? Good. Here's one that says on the same network with a show with that funny bitch with the pink hair and help the Iraqis develop good American values such as intolerance and bigotry. What? The show with a funny bitch with the pink hair?
Jan Crouch.
Oh, he's talking about Jan and Paul Crotch. No, but well, we get it.
She guest stars on Benny Hinn every once in a while. So.
In addition to which, didn't you tell me they already have a transmitter there in the middle of the desert somewhere?
Yes,
They're probably watching Jan and Paul Crotch right now. That's why they hate America. Bush Broadcasting can subject them to D. James Kennedy, Reclaiming America for Christ, and Part 2, Conquest Iraq. Okay, well, can't put them all on there, like I said. Quit while you're ahead. Stuttering Gillen Homestead is the one who faxed in Caliente. He said it's on Saturdays, 2 p.m. on Telemundo. Babes dancing the latest tunes in thongs. To the latest thongs. Hogan's Heroes. Oh, I can't wait till they see Jamie Farr. Was that on Hogan's Heroes? Or was that on MASH? I never watched either one of them, so I don't know. Huh? Oh, that's right. What am I asking you for, punk? Here's one that says, the movie The Mouse That Roared. I guess only old farts would know this flick about a teeny tiny community in possession of the bomb had the U.S. on its knees. Don't put that on there. We don't want them to see us on our knees, okay? No comment. Although I did notice that Rumsfeld was asking yesterday during the press conference if they had discovered that it was true about the incredibly high percentage of homosexuality in that country. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Rolling along singing a song. Oh, I got a great caller. I'm going to have a couple of bedtime stories today. You know the one by Michael Moore? Aha! How do you like that? My Oscar Backlash, Stupid White Men, back at number 1, and Bowling for Columbine breaks new records.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh, they sure fixed him up. Just like the Dixie Chicks, which he writes about in here, too, which their sales of their records have shot through the roof. Oh, yeah. So all these statistics about, well, 70% of the people are pissed off and Michael Moore's an asshole and no more Dixie Chicks. The only people who want to buy the Dixie Chicks are the yahoos who listen to Kiss. That's all. You know the ones I'm talking about? The ones who are coons to Hootie Johnson? Did I say Kin Coon? Maybe they're hanging out in Cancun, but I doubt it. They don't like them down there. And vice versa. Hootie Johnson, man. So more bad misinformation. I want to hear that apology on the Moe Howard David show tomorrow. To come on here and say that, well, maybe they just have their names on the list. Maybe it has nothing to do with Jewish. Maybe they just got Geldy, Moe, and Robert Grieper, self-hating Jew. Maybe they just have those on a long list of people that they will not admit in Augusta. Maybe that's the reason Moe ain't broadcasting from there this year, huh?
Ah.
Maybe he got the message.
He's been blacklisted.
Did you say blacklisted? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
What? I don't understand what kind of TV shows these people are talking about. What we got to do is bring Maude over there and Three's Company, and I have 2 reasons for that.
Okay.
All right. Maude will get the Janet Reno in there. They'll get used to these Janet Reno bitches being able to do whatever they want because that's who America is. With Three's Company, we'll introduce them. Hey, guess what? We have sex. You know, we'll get all of that.
Okay, thanks a lot, pal. I guess he hasn't seen that half of the population there is under the age of 15. So somebody's been doing an awful lot of breeding. In other words, they don't live very long, right? That's why the demographic is so low. They don't live very long. Unlike down here where, of course, the median age is death plus 10.
Well, they lost 1 or 2 people in the Gulf War and in that Iran thing.
See, there you go. I'm trying to do a light show today. And there you go again. I think the guy that called before was right. You're just a little clone of George, you know?
Oh, please don't
Starting in, right off the bat, trying to get real heavy duty, you know. Pandering to all those light bulb listeners, all those chronic radio talk show listeners. You know the ones I'm talking about. Yeah, there you go. See, George may not be here in person, but his mumbling lives on. Through the miracle of audio. There he is.
So speaking about eating ass.
Yes.
Isn't that what George was doing in that?
So how was Treasure Island last night, Beaner boy?
It was very good.
Shut up. Now that the U.S. has taken over Iraq radio and TV, what should be the first show on the air? You know, I'm going to start getting like Moe. I'm going to start playing Butch Boss. And I'm going to wear that damn muskrat during the show. Just as a message. I'm going to send you a message. The South Park movie 15. The Gong Show 9. But we're not going to show them the ones where J.P. Morgan was on there, because she's a little bit too butch. No, we don't want to, you know. The Phil Henry Show 7. American Idol 7. It's changing. It changed all over the place. Did I say Baywatch 8? Osborne 7, American Idol 7, Saturday Night Live 7, Phil Henry Show 7, Dream of Jeannie 4, Oprah 3, Passions a pair, Are You Hot 2, and then Small Potatoes for the other ones. And we got to get up there. Come on, let's get with it, Eric. You're so slow. Oh, my eyeballs ache just thinking about how slow he is. Well, when you weigh 600 pounds, you don't move like real fast, okay, except to the refrigerator. That's the only place he makes an exception, moves real fast at the drive-thru and also at the refrigerator. 9 minutes past 10 at 560 WQAM. Hey, how many times did you hear about an opportunity and you sat there like you were frozen, like you were in suspended animation like Larry King, and you missed out? Well, right now is one of those times. Rarely does an opportunity interrupt whatever else you're doing, but this one should. Interest rates have gone down, even lower than they were before. Financial Group was offering an interest rate of 3.45%. Then they lowered it to 2.95%. Now, rates have gone down even lower. 2.45% financing with Financial Group. You heard it right, 2.45%. Call Financial Group and find out all about it. Call 1-800-940-LEND. Of course, who the hell knows how long these interest rates will last? Probably not very long. So hop through this window of opportunity with Financial Group and get you an incredible low rate of just 2.45% and save yourself a ton of a schmidt-load of cash. Call Financial Group, 1-800-940-LEND. 2.45% financing will cut your monthly payments down amazingly. A $200,000 loan, you pay only $786 a month. A $100,000 loan, you pay only $393 a month. Do it now. Call Financial Group toll free. There's no obligation. 1-800-940-LEND. 1-800-940-LEND. Equal housing lender. Credit restrictions apply. See, I did that just to get that guy off, there. And rate subject to change without notice, 5.34 APR.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
This is an Action News update.
We now bring you Saddam Hussein live.
My troops will fight diligently, and I assure a victory for the Iraqi people.
Wait a minute, that is not Saddam. Saddam does not have red hair and freckles, but it is hard to tell because of the sombrero.
More after this.
Look at that. Carlos had to reach in his pocket and give him up change for his paycheck, okay? How come you got your check and I don't have mine yet?
Oh, I don't have mine. I just asked him if he had change.
Well, what did he just bring in here? I thought he just brought checks in here.
He told me he didn't have change, and he came to show me his empty wallet.
Get out of here, Muff. Don't come back in here without any cash, okay? Come in here with some checks. You know, we like seeing you once in a great while, but don't overdo it. Unless you got some cash. Can you believe that? I thought for sure he had envelopes in his hand. He had such a smile on his puss. I just turned it down to 100 in here, by the way. You notice how they had the ovens cranked up? I thought it was just me. It was smoldering in here. Once again, more assholes in here at night, dicking around with everything in this studio. Dicking with a thermostat.
Stealing my beverages.
Stealing Carlos's Cokes. Stealing George's Coke. Here's the facts from Bill, who says, I believe Moe's confusion about the exclusion of certain individuals from membership at Augusta National Golf Club stems from a portion of their membership policy which he apparently slightly misheard. He understood them to say they don't allow people of the Jewish faith, when actually what they said was they don't allow egotistical, elderly, pud-whacking assholes with smelly, ridiculous-looking hairpieces and two first names. Simple mistake, says Faxer Bill. Good point, Bill. Here's another one from Calvin, who says, boy, the faxes are pouring in. The votes are starting to pour in on that poll. You got Three's Company and Maud? And Hogan's Heroes?
Hogan's Heroes, yes. I didn't think we were going to put Three's Company and Maud.
Why not? Why not? Just because that guy was like a little off?
Right.
That's okay. We like our people a little bit off, and most of them don't disappoint. Calvin says, was all this mongering so we could go over to Baghdad and tear down a statue? Well, the answer, Calvin, is...
Yes.
Not just a statue, but they tore down that one in Kirkuk this morning.
Oh!
I guess he must have missed out the big news. We had it right here. Yeah, when it hit the ground, it was exciting. Says, I don't think there's anything more disgusting than Dick coming out of his hole, and we haven't seen Vice President Dick for a long time, by the way, you'll notice, and boasting about how our military kicked the crap out of a third-rate army. Or you should say what's left of a third-rate army. There are some 100-odd families out there who might not feel so proud since their loved ones are coming home in a box. Not to mention, of course, the thousands of families in Iraq of innocent bystanders whose probably won't come home at all. Be sure to fasten your seatbelts because Rummy said yesterday that there's intelligence that Saddam might have stored some of his WMDs in Syria. Sounds plausible. And after that, Iran, Lebanon, ? Saddam might even have FedEx some to Canada. Do they have any tall statues in Toronto? No, only the CN Tower. I just mentioned that in passing. And, of course, that gigantic statue of Frank Mahavlich. Here's a fax that says, here's an absolute must-see for... Now, this is bad. This is in very poor taste. No, it is. It's bad, but I like it. Must-see TV for Iraq. Any or perhaps all of the dental care infomercials. Thanks, Robin, Pompano Beach. We don't put that on there because it's in very poor taste. But he does have a point. In fact, I would say that next to the British, they have some of the worst teeth I've ever seen. But they probably don't have real good, like, dental care policies.
The British have no excuse.
Like America, they probably don't have real good medical care plans. I just mentioned that in passing. South Park Movie 19. Now that U.S. has taken over radio and TV in Iraq, what should be the first show on the air? South Park Movie 19. Gong Show 12. Baywatch 11. The Osbournes 11. The Phil Hendry Show.
Are you sure?
9. American Idol 9. Saturday Night Live 8. I Dream of Jeannie has got 5. I don't see, oh yeah, that's right. Look at that. I don't have any yet. We just put those on there, right, Eric? Boy, you're so slow. God. American Idol's got 9, like I said. I already did these. Are You Hot 5, Benny Hinn 3, Passion's only 3, Oprah has only got 3 votes. How do you like that? I can easily understand why, because Oprah blows. Should I read it? I guess I got time now to do this, so why not do it? In fact, I'm not going to read anything until we get the paychecks. And we ought to go on strike till we get our paychecks. We shouldn't have to go through this every payday. Clarence ought to be at that door. He ought to be bursting through that door with a big smile on his face. Here you go, guys. Just throwing money at us, you know? Kind of crap that goes on next door. He's busy with sports. That's right. He's too busy with ball games. Although he's another one. He wouldn't know a hockey puck if they stuck one up his ass, but he might enjoy it. Yeah. Maybe it'd be a new experience for Clarence. My Oscar backlash. Stupid white men back at number 1. Bowling breaks new records, writes Michael Moore. Dear friends, he says, it appears that the Bush administration will have succeeded in colonizing Iraq sometime in the next few days. There's a blunder of such magnitude. This is a blunder of such magnitude, and we will pay for it for years to come. It wasn't worth the life of one single American kid in uniform, let alone the thousands of Iraqis who have died, and my condolences and prayers go out to all of them. So where are all those weapons of mass destruction that were the pretense for this war? There's so much to say about all this, but I'll save it for later. What I'm most concerned about right now is that all of you, the majority of Americans who did not support this war in the first place, not go silent or be intimidated by what will be touted as some great military victory. Now more than ever, the voices of peace and truth must be heard. I've received a lot of mail from people who are feeling a profound sense of despair and believe that their voices have been drowned out by the drums and bombs of false patriotism. Some are afraid of retaliation at work or at school or in their neighborhoods because they have been vocal proponents of peace. They've been told over and over that it's not appropriate to protest once the country is at war, and that your only duty now is to support the troops. Can I share with you what's been like for me since I used my time on the Oscar stage 2 weeks ago to speak out against Bush in this war? I hope that in reading what I'm about to tell you, you'll feel a bit more emboldened to make your voice heard in whatever way or form that is open to you. When Bowling for Columbine was announced as the Oscar winner for Best Documentary at the Academy Awards, the audience rose to its feet. It was a great moment, one that I'll always cherish. They were standing and cheering for a film that says we Americans are a uniquely violent people, using our massive stash of guns to kill each other and use them against many countries around the world. They were applauding a film that shows George W. Bush using fictitious fears to frighten the public into giving him whatever he wants, and they were honoring a film that states the following. The first Gulf War was an attempt to reinstall the dictator of Kuwait. Saddam Hussein was armed with weapons from the U.S., and the American government's responsible for the deaths of 500,000 children in Iraq over the past decade through its sanctions and bombing. That was the movie they were cheering, and that was the movie they voted for, so I decided that this is the way I should acknowledge it in my speech, and thus I said the following from the Oscar stage. On behalf of our producers, Kathleen Glynn and Michael Donovan from Canada, I'd like to thank the Academy for this award. I've invited the other documentary nominees on the stage with me. They're here in solidarity because we like nonfiction. We like nonfiction because we live in fictitious times. We live in a time where fictitious election results give us a fictitious president. We're now fighting a war for fictitious reasons. Whether it's the fiction of duct tape or fictitious orange alerts, we are against this war. Mr. Bush, shame on you. Mr. Bush, shame on you. And whenever you've got to the Pope and the Dixie Chicks against you, your time is up. Halfway through my remarks, somebody in the audience started to cheer. That immediately set off a group of people in a balcony who started to boo. Then those supporting my remarks started to shout down the booers. The L.A. Times reported that the director of the show started screaming at the orchestra, "Music, music," in order to cut me off, so the band dutifully struck up a tune and my time was up. The next day, and the 2 weeks since, the right-wing pundits and radio shock jocks have been calling for my head. So has all this ruckus hurt me? Have they succeeded in silencing me? Well, take a look at my Oscar backlash. On the day after I criticized Bush and the war at the Academy Awards, attendance at Bowling for Columbine in theaters around the country went up 110%. The following week, the box office gross was up a whopping 73%. It is now the longest-running consecutive commercial release in America, 26 weeks in a row and still thriving. The number of theaters showing the film since the Oscars has increased, and it has now bested the previous box office record for documentary by nearly 300%. A couple of days ago, April 6th, Stupid White Men shot back to number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list. This is my book's 50th week on the list, 8 of them at number 1, and marks its 4th return to the top position, something that virtually never happens. In the week after the Oscars, my website was getting 10 to 20 million hits a day. One day we even got more hits than the White House. The mail has been overwhelmingly positive and supportive, and the hate mail has been hilarious. In the 2 days following the Oscars, more people pre-ordered the video for Bowling for Columbine on Amazon.com than the video for the Oscar winner for Best Picture, Chicago. In the past week, I've obtained funding for my next documentary, and I've been offered a slot back on TV to do an updated version of TV Nation, The Awful Truth. I tell you all this because I want to counteract the message that's told to us all the time, that if you take a chance to speak out politically, you'll live to regret it. It'll hurt you in some way, usually financially. You could lose your job. Others may not hire you. You'll lose friends, and on and on and on. Take the Dixie Chicks. I'm sure you've all heard by now that because their lead singer mentioned how she was ashamed that Bush was from her home state of Texas, their record sales have plummeted and country stations are boycotting their music. The truth is, their sales are not down. This week, after all the attacks, their album is still number 1 on the Billboard country charts, and according to Entertainment Weekly, on the pop charts during all the brouhaha, they rose from number 6 to number 4. In the New York Times, Frank Rich reports he tried to find a ticket to any of the Dixie Chicks' upcoming concerts, but he couldn't because they were all sold out. Their song, Travelin' Soldier, a beautiful anti-war ballad, was the most requested song on the Internet last week. They haven't been heard at all, but that's not what the media would have you believe. Why is that? Because there's nothing more important now than to keep the voices of dissent, and those of you who would dare to ask a question, silent. And what better way than to try and take a few well-known entertainers down with a pack of lies so the average Joe or Jane gets the message loud and clear? Wow, if they would do that to the Dixie Chicks or Michael Moore, what would they do to little old me? In other words, shut the F up. And that, my friends, is the real point of this film that I just got an Oscar for, how those in charge use fear to manipulate the public in doing whatever they're told. Well, the good news, if there can be any good news this week, is not that only have neither I or any others been silenced. We've been joined by millions of Americans who think the same way we do. Don't let the false patriots intimidate you by setting the agenda or the terms of the debate. Don't be defeated by the polls that show 70% of the public in favor of the war. Remember that these Americans being polled are the same Americans whose kids or neighbors' kids have been sent over to Iraq. They're scared for the troops, and they're being cowed into supporting a war they didn't want, and they want even less to see their friends, family, and neighbors come home dead. Everyone supports the troops returning home alive, and all of us need to reach out and let their families know that. Unfortunately, Bush and company aren't through yet. This invasion and conquest will encourage them to do it again elsewhere. The real purpose of this war was to say to the rest of the world, don't mess with Texas. If you got what we want, we're coming to get it. This is not the time for the majority of us who believe in peaceful America to be quiet. Make your voices heard despite what they've pulled off. It is still our country, says Michael Moore.
Oh.
Nice going, Mike. Nice going, eh? I still don't have my copy of Bowling for Columbine yet. But I can get it on Amazon.com.
Oh, I thought you'd already ordered it.
No, I have not. There's Clarence with the money. All right, he is our favorite person in the world, I'll tell you that right now. This guy, I guarantee any woman that would turn his advances down has got to be an idiot. He is hung like a moose. He's got a personality like... Huh? That's what I'm hearing. You're the best, Clarence. Get out of here.
You can stop lying. We got our money now.
Yeah, we got our money now. Well, no, after you cash it. And by the way, when you go to the bank, do the same thing you do with my check. Okay, be sure and have them call the company and make sure that it's legit. Because when they take a look at you and say, oh, you got a check for anything? They'll say, who are you kidding? No, seriously, you don't look like the kind of person that would get paid for anything.
No, that day they had the security guard block the door while they called you, make sure I couldn't get out of there.
If I had to do over again, just to, fun with you a little bit, just to screw with you a little, like I did with Moe this morning. God, I wish we should have filmed that, something get 140 share in this building if the crowd in here could have seen that. Could have seen me in there with a muskrat on my head. I thought Moe's eyes are going to pop right out of his eyeballs. It was great. Miguel, he don't have time for your crap. He's busy looking at naked pictures on the Internet. Now, we got our package yet, Miguel? For that thing, we'd like to do that hot couples thing again, but at least Doreen come through with us for a lot of food this morning. She said it was Mo-licious. But poor Miguel, man, we're like asking, and he's just diddling around, Sometime this year would be good, Miguel. Huh?
He's waiting for replies from the other people involved in giving us the prizes.
Wow, okay. We'll keep you posted, folks. Inhale right now, and we'll let you know when you can let it out, and your breath too. Now that the U.S. has taken over local Iraqi radio and TV, what should be the first show on the air is what our question is on NeilRogers.com. Another nifty poll, if you ask me. 145 votes already on air, and we're still building the list. We're still building our poll. South Park movie, 26. I'm trying to think about, I think I actually saw the South Park movie. Where would I have seen that? I think when I was in Toronto I saw that thing.
Because they're a bunch of assholes.
The Phil Hundrey Show, 13. The Osbournes, 13. Baywatch, 12. Gong Show, 12. Neil Rogers Show is zipping up there fast, 11. How do you like that?
Oh, God.
That'll be a cold day in hell before they let this show on here over there. Saturday Night Live, 11. American Idol, 11. Dream of Jeannie, 7. Jerry Springer Show, 5. Are You Hot, 5. Benny Hinn, 4. Look at that. Just say, Are You Hot? And right away McCall's nodding his head. Oh, boy. Man, these people with the egos, you know. No wonder he gets along with Moe so well. I know he's busy. He's on a computer looking at naked pictures. Like always. Well, George ain't here to share with him, so he's got to do something. I heard George does share with him at Treasure Island. Now, so what was the story at Treasure Island last night? Anybody get lucky there or what?
Well, I kept getting pawed. I get pawed more than most of the women there.
Yeah?
By the strippers.
You were pawed by the strippers? I thought maybe by some of our regular chronics who were pawing over you, since they can't get close to the strippers. Maybe Fat Boy was there pawing over Little Beaner Boy, huh?
Actually, Fat Boy and Miguel had a little booth in the back by themselves.
Did they really?
Yeah. It was cute.
Video at 11. 10:27 at 560 WQM. I'll tell you that, Clarence, there is nobody like Clarence Darrow in the world, you know? He is the best. You ask for money and he's got it. Just comes in here with a big smile on his face. All you ladies out there, speaking of hot couples, seriously, let's get him laid this year. This year, just once. Just to show you that we appreciate profoundly the fact that he actually delivers the cash. The Beasleys aren't too happy about it. They like him to stall. But he brings it in on the day that's due to be delivered.
This year? There's only 7 months left.
Yeah. There's only 7 months left?
For this year.
8.5
9,
last time I checked.
10.
7.5. What an idiot. Now, look at it. Now he's... And Miguel goes to the calendar, and now he's counting the months off the calendar, okay? If this is the 4th month of the year, Carlos, how many months are left after? If it looks like 8.5 to me, he's got 8.5 long months. He can almost knock some... I mean, he can almost have a immaculate contraception in that period of time. Come on, so all you ladies out there, all you sluts in the audience that want it really bad, from anybody who would even do Beaner Boy. I mean, I understand that, you know, Clarence has got bad breath and he talks a lot of crap and he will bite your arm up and down one side or the other. But in the meantime, you can ignore that. Just wear like a bodysuit. Use some of that duct tape over his puss. Hey, I'll tell you a place where you're going to have a great time for lunch or dinner or late night snacks, and that's the world-famous Pizza Loft. And now with Passover only days away, they've got that notorious matzah pizza. It is unleavened for Pesach. Whatever the hell that means. Even the Goyim enjoy the matzah pizza every year, and the matzah lasagna as well. Delicious, even better, I think, than the original stuff. That's how good it is. So now there's 4 kinds of pizza for you to enjoy at the Pizza Loft. They've got every kind of pasta dish under the sun. They got chicken and veal seafood, fugaza pizza, calzone super subs, and the prices are teeny and tiny. The food is fresh and delicious. And they've also now got 2 great locations for you at the Pizza Loft. The original Broward location, as you know. It's right beyond Pier 1 Imports on University Drive between Griffin and 595, right across from the complex where the Rimmers and Eddie Jones live. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 954-916-8880. 954-916-8880. Don't forget, great catering as low as $5 per person for any affair you got coming up. Jeff knows his affairs. And now the new Broward location is out by me in Western Broward, and that's corner Nob Hill and Sunrise behind Walgreens in that strip shopping center. Not easy to see from the street, but they got plenty of free parking there right in front of the joint, and the food is the same great food and the same low prices at the Plantation Pizza Loft. Call 954-382-1999. 382-1999. It's a fantastic place. Take the whole gang in there this weekend for a feast at a price that's just a pittance. Even Rimmer will pick up the check at the world-famous Pizza Loft, 2 locations in Broward now.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Those are good. Okay.
When you get a yeast infection, you use one of those messy creams, don't you?
Yeah.
There may be an easier way. It's a pill, Diflucan. Just one pill is as effective as the leading 7-day cream without the mess.
Okay.
Do not use Diflucan if you are nursing. If you are pregnant or taking other medications, talk to your doctor. Do not take Diflucan if you are taking Propulsid.
I am taking Propulsid, but it's not like my vagina's gonna explode. Or will it? Oh no! It's broke! Not even Mr. Good Wrench could fix this.
For more information, ask your doctor or visit our website.
What a mess!
Diflucan.
10:33 at 560 WQAM. So anyway, Miguel is researching the thing about Jews at Augusta and whether they can be members of the club or not. That one call we had, I think that said it all. because the guy who was on the board of directors was obviously either had a very Jewish name by accident or, was one of the tribe. What is this stuff? Billy Eli, smoking out evil. It's time to bomb Iraq. It's time to shoot to kill. A lot of blah, 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 blah. What is the story on this song? Is this an anti-war? Is this a protest? Well, we'll have to listen to a little bit of it, okay? Just came in the mail. Good old boy song. Let's play it for Hootie Johnson, okay? He's a good old boy. A drooling redneck. Well, I'm serious. He's just he's like Jesse Helms, man. Just a drooling yahoo. Oh, and speaking of, somebody called a couple of weeks ago about Graham. Lindsey Graham is who they were talking about, the senator from South Carolina. Don't you remember he was prominently involved in the Penisgate impeachment hearings?
Yeah.
Lindsey Graham, another drooling yahoo. Man, there's something about the Deep South. Oh! Thanks very much for the Molly Ivins article, which I was just going to read a little bit because I already had it, but thank you anyway. Bush offers crooks and warmongers to lead Iraq. She's, something, she is really great. And I got the poll for tomorrow on the weekend, thanks to a faxer, one of our most chronic faxers. First of all, they say first TV show has to be a Marlins game. No. Then it goes on to say, Moe Howard broadcast 11 times from the Masters and played the course twice, which I heard him say several times this morning. Can you say ego? And ergo, there's our poll for tomorrow. Yeah, for tomorrow and through the weekend. Who has the biggest ego in the world? So far, I have 2 candidates only. One of them, of course, being Mo, and the other one being... Just tell me what your problem is. Steve, Mr. Ego Kane. Now, you were pointing to that chair. You weren't going to say George, were you?
I wasn't going to say it. I was pointing at the chair so you can say it.
George has a big ego?
You were saying that he's got a big head lately.
I said that about little George? Yeah, you're right. I did say that. Yeah, we'll put him on there. Well, we'll start formulating tomorrow's poll eventually. But see, I shouldn't have said that because now they'll be calling in names for that. One poll at a time, okay? One poll per customer at a time. Oh, here's the faxer saying, and we're a little slow, we apologize. He suggested Dallas, the Iraqis should know the truth, a tyrant from Texas interested only in oil.
There you go.
J.R. Ewing, W. Bush.
And you had to do with the deserts in Texas.
Now, do you think I should open this or not? Where's this from? Oh, Plantation? I don't think so. I think it's really a box of cigars or something.
Sure.
Huh? I don't know. It's oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I bet you it's got dog crap in it. Huh?
Wouldn't be surprised.
No, it's got a note. Oh, God. Ah! Here's a gift.
Uh-oh.
Here's a gift for 20 years of great free radio. Scary book. Give them hell, your listener, JG. Thank you, JG. It's a book in here, okay?
There it is.
What? Well, they've got Visqueen and duct tape on this, okay? So it must be pretty subversive stuff because you can barely open the damn thing.
Anthrax.
Into the buzzsaw, leading journalist exposed the myth of a free press. All right, forward by Gore Vidal.
Oh!
Thank you, JG and Plantation. You were making fun of this package.
Very nice.
Christ almighty. You were making fun of Miguel's package. Huh. You're a good one to talk. Don't forget Mrs. Wallace and, what's her name? Precious. The chimpanzee on Passions Today, and Sheridan, and Luis, and Antonio, and poor little, what's her name? What is her name? The sister. What the hell's the little, I can't even think of her name anymore. Who the hell cares about her? The sister on Passions, the little mousy one that used to do the Alice in Wonderland routine all the time.
Oh.
Yeah. See, even you know who that is. Teresa.
Oh.
So many characters in so little time. Look at the size of this thing. Oh, my God. Wow.
You're reaching under that desk and pulling out what?
Oh.
You should see what that looks like.
Well, it's just jammed in here, man. It's jammed in there. Jam up and jelly tight. Who sang that? Tommy Rowe? Some schmuck. I think Tommy Rowe's going to be performing at Gulfstream this weekend. If not, he should be, with all those other old, washed-up, like Gary Puckett, and, of course, the Brooklyn Bridge. In fact, I think some of the people out there would like to see the people that run Gulfstream go to the Brooklyn Bridge and jump. The Stronach family. Here we go. I'm getting it out of here now, page by page. I don't want to break the book, I mean, there's nothing like making sure the package is, really, tight as a drum. During the break, I'll do it. It must sound really bad on the air. Not to mention the fact it looks so bad. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. I'll read that Molly Ivins column. The thing by Michael Moore, by the way, was great. It's on our website. It's on neilrogers.com, along with 600 other great bedtime stories. You ought to be checking out our website, okay? Those percentage of you out there who aren't all sucked into this crap, and you know that percentage what it is according to the polls.
About 30, man.
Right. Isn't that funny how that's what it turns out to be? I think it's a lot more than that. I think that they're just manipulating public opinion.
No, they wouldn't.
When they ask the poll, they say, do you support our troops? And by the way, what about the president of the war? You know, but do you support our troops?
Damn liberal media.
That guy was right. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Now he's got some money in his pocket. He got his check. Now he's really going to be dangerous. Watch out for Beaner Boy over the weekend. He's loaded, man. He's got a big fat bulge in his pocket. Probably drugs. Where's the bargains, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. The bargains are at the swap shop. Boy, Preston and his hand, they're still doing it over there. For about 600 years, they've been going strong. Over 88 acres, chock full of bargains from indoor and outdoor vendors. The swap shop is the busiest retail location in the world before daylight. And at night, the swap shop has got the world's largest 13-screen drive-in movie theater featuring great first-run movies. Why do so many people shop at the swap shop? Not to see Preston or Sheriff Nick. No place else can you see millions of dollars worth of brand-new, brand-name merchandise at flea market prices. And everything you buy at the swap shop is guaranteed. Free admission, free parking 7 days a week. The swap shop is the cheapest place in the world to shop every Thursday. Be a free buyer or free seller every Thursday, like today. Free garage sale space before 5 a.m. and Mondays all day long. All of these things and lots more waiting for you at the swap shop, Sunrise Boulevard between I-95 and the Turnpike. Call 954-791-SWAP. Don't miss the free $1 million three-ring circus 7 days a week, too. As a matter of fact, if you've got, like, jammed-up nasal passages, you just go into the swap shop. When the circus is on, man, it'll open them up like a miracle. The swap shop, call 954-791-SWAP.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
That the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Go to hell. You like the way that starts? It gets better, though. It's a little loose. Loosey-goosey.
It's time to bomb Iraq. It's time to shoot to kill. 'Cause there's a lot of empty gas tanks that's gotta be filled. So first Iraq and next Iran. And then Palestine, Syria, Pakistan. We won't stop, wait or listen, never have, never will. It's time to bomb Iraq, time to shoot and kill, yeah. I saw the president on TV and this is what he said. We gotta smoke out evil, alive or dead. But Tim Bin Laden got away, I guess he's long gone. Man, this really looks bad. We better bomb Saddam. Forget about Osama or Kim Jong-il. We gotta bomb Saddam and shoot and kill, y'all. Got a willing coalition, that's Exxon and Shell. Halliburton, Carlsberg, and Texaco as well. Well, we'd like to be peaceful, but you gotta understand just how much of our oil is underneath their sand. And the faster this is over, the sooner we can drill. So bomb today and shoot to kill. Now the latest number shows slipping in the polls. I guess we ought to make a statement. Who cares what you think? Let's roll. We'll call it liberation, hear the cheers of thanks. Now never mind the bodies broken underneath our tanks. So if you want to go to school on a GI Bill, you gotta bomb Iraq, gotta shoot to kill, baby. We're using real bullets this time.
What's this guy's name again? Billy Eli, is that it? Billy Eli, Austin, Texas, smoking out evil. Not bad, huh? I mean, the music could use a little bit of work, but the lyrics are good. A little ballsy. Austin, Texas, no less. Oh, I won't see him no more. Did you check this website out that I gave you this thing yesterday, which the guy faxed me again just now?
Yes, I did.
And?
Not bad.
Not bad? Webcamsue.demon.nl. Oh, NL, Netherlands. It's Dutch.
Some of the links are a little slow, but that might have been my computer, so I'll take a look at it again.
Yeah, some of the operators are a little slow, too. Not to mention no names. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Now that the U.S. has taken over Iraq radio and TV, what should be the first show on the air? South Park show movie 40, Neil Rogers show 38. How do you like that?
All right.
Baywatch 21, The Osbournes 21, Saturday Night Live 15, Jerry Springer show 15, Phil Henry show 15.
Are you?
American Idol 14, The Gong Show 13, I Dream of Jeannie 11, Benny Hinn's got 10. Are You Hot 6, Gunsmoke 5, Oprah 5, Caliente 4, Passions 4. Hey, Sheridan, are you hot?
Yes.
Well, your voice has changed, Sheridan. What's all that stress? Dallas 3, and then the list goes, the beat goes on. I guess we'll save the Molly Ivins column for next hour. Well, I'll tell you one thing this week, the time, every day it seems like the time is getting away from us, you know what I mean? Seems like life is passing us by. Yes, Rich Pachter, I do subscribe to Salon.com, and I got that piece, and thank you very much. It's great.
Oh, I meant to tell you, remember that Salon.com, us poor schleppers, can only get like a little paragraph of those stories unless we pay $30.
Yes.
Okay, just so you know.
Yeah, but if you go on there the first time, you can get 1 day free if you agree to read some dumb ad. And then just say, well, it was interesting. No, I subscribe. I can squeeze out a couple of bucks, especially now that Clarence brought in those paychecks. Oh! Nice going, Clarence. Still nobody called in yet that wants to do them yet. Except maybe, yeah, he might. WQAM.
Yeah, you guys are missing one great show that Iraq should watch.
Okay.
Happy Days.
Happy Days would be good.
Happy Days would be great.
As long as we left off Tom Bosley, they might get depressed when they saw him again.
That's all right.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Good choice. Happy Days, huh? What do you say? I think we got a bit on Happy Days, don't we? No. I thought for damn sure we had. We have Happy Newt. WQAM. QAM.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
560.
560.
I wanted to speak to Neil, please.
Speaking.
This is Neil?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't sound like it.
Well, I'll put on a voice. I'll put on my Saddam mustache and Groucho glasses, but it's me.
That's okay.
Okay.
You don't have to do that.
Well, it's right over here. I can do it.
Listen, I'm a first-time caller.
Excellent.
And in Homestead.
Well.
And I had a great one you could put on your survey.
Okay.
Archie Bunker.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's perfect. That's all in the family. And do you want to know why this morning, when Moe Howard was talking about Augusta, he said there are no sand traps in Augusta. There are only bunkers. And I thought, yeah, Archie Bunker. Thanks very much, sweetheart.
He would be great.
Be perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks,
Have
Neil.
a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Archie Bunker, all in the family. Got it all in the family? Archie Bunker? I mean, we got a bunch of those, including we also got, what's that one?
Which one, the Moe and Goldie one?
No. You're on a different planet, man. You're like on Uranus.
Well, they sing the theme song.
Black
too.
All in the Family. And the Al-Qaeda family that I played the other day. We got all kinds of good crap, man. Just too much crap. I feel like I'm losing control here. We got crap flying in all directions. WQAM.
Yes, how you doing?
Okay.
You know, it's funny. You want shows for Iraq. What they ought to do is show the war behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Then they can run around and say, we're number one.
Okay.
Have a great one.
Okay, you too. Yeah, they could have the Rumsfeld-Colin Powell battle that's going on behind closed doors, huh? We don't want them to see that. It'd be bad for their morale. The truth shall set you free, but of course, so you think you're free, but since we're in there, you're obviously not. We'll let you know when you're free. As soon as we open up that first McDonald's. Well, there's the schmutheads in Dearborn, Michigan again.
Alleged sympathizers of terrorists going on even right now.
USA.
Then, of course, there was the Afghanistan war. And then after that, the bill...
How come they're showing them from that angle, you know, because it makes it look like there's a lot more. But look at the back. See, there's like about, what, 40?
I don't think there's that many.
No, I don't think there are 40. I think more like...
About 30, man.
Yeah. Quite a gathering there. It's kind of like down here at the INS building that time. Oh, there's massive protest, and then as the camera panned away, you saw there were like a handful of people there.
About 30, man.
Yeah. Same hysterical media, always exaggerating, always building up a bunch of hysteria. Trying to get people whipped up into a frenzy to watch their crap. WQAM.
Yes, let's speak to Neil, please.
Speaking. Hello.
Yes.
This is me.
Oh, hi, Neil.
How are you?
Doing?
Good.
Listen, I wanted to tell you, did you have, I know a guy called in yesterday talking about how expensive something got the Army and the toilet bowls and things like that. Have you ever checked into the Bradley tank and the expense that that went through to make that?
No.
Oh, you should check out. You should check out. There's a movie that's called. I can't think of it. The Pentagon Wars.
Okay.
And that's a true story, and it just blows your mind away. They spent like $30 million just to set up the tank before they even put it in process.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting.
Well, it's our money, too. I just might point that out to us.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, thanks for the good news.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Here's Doug in Pembroke Pines says, perhaps we can obtain the tapes from Channel 7's coverage of Gulf War I in 1991 if they can see Rick Sanchez squatting over their country. Maybe the Iraqi people realize what Bush and all the other right-wing fascists really think of them. Iraqi freedom, my ass. It's all about oil, baby, says Doug in Pembroke Pines, who also says, at the end, and spells it with several H's.
Some station was saying something about Iraqis getting their first taste of freedom, and right behind them was like 10 Marines with machine guns looking over them.
That's right.
That's freedom.
How much freer can you be than that?
On U.S. interests inside the United States or abroad, in spite of this war, and as the story that you just pointed out with the clerics, spurred a lot of religious sentiment around the world. I went yesterday to the FBI to try and find out some of the reasons for the success in the war on terrorism.
Oh, here, this is another propaganda specialist, Chris Whitcomb, the former FBI agent. He's always sucking heavy wind. Dallas is on the list twice, it says here. Oh, don't tell me Eric made a mistake. Oh, thank you very much, whoever faxed this. Whoever's monitoring Eric's, let's see, there's Dallas. And you're right. And it's got 3 votes in one spot and 1 in the other. It looks like 4 to me, okay? Jeez, that's probably your fault. Did you put it on there twice, you little beaner boy head?
Well, it can't be Eric's fault.
Nothing is Eric's fault. Like I said, nothing is perfect. Get out of here. God, we're in such a good mood this week. You know, no George and no Petey Lenny in the building. And, door opens and there's that Petey Lenny again. Just, cut the cord. Go away, okay? Don't go away, man. Just go away. I'm just nauseous, and he spends a half hour of my time. I'm sick as a dog, and he's on and that's grand. Can you believe that? And he's back in here again. Just cut the cord, go away.
You gotta treat him well now.
Huh?
You gotta treat him well now. He's one of our sponsors.
No, I do not treat him well. I don't care if he's bringing in bucketfuls of money. He can stick it right up his fat old ass. Can't stand that man. WQAM.
George.
Wait, what was that? George? Oh, he's gone. I don't know, it sounded like it sounded like the breathing guy, didn't it? WQAM.
Jamba.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. WQAM.
What's up, man?
How you doing, sir?
Chilling. Hey, you read the article on BuzzFlash about Ileana Rosland supporting Iranian terrorists?
Supporting Iranian terrorists?
Yeah, look it up on BuzzFlash.com. I just want the people of Florida to know what kind of a fucking putz.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. But Ileana does like our noon to 1 hour big time. And scrubs up to listen to it also, is what I'm hearing. WQAM.
Yeah, I got a show for you.
I beg your pardon?
I got a show.
You got a show? Okay, go right ahead. You're on right now.
All right.
Here's a guy that's got a show. Hello.
How's it going?
How you doing?
The first show should be that Waldon on E. With Brooke Burke.
What's the show?
Wild On.
Oh, Wild On.
Wild On.
Okay.
They can do it on their own.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
See ya. Get a new phone, too, by the way. That phone blows. Wild On. You ever see that show?
Show's great.
Is it?
Oh,
I never saw it. I don't watch E.
Skin everywhere. It's on really late at night.
I watch Canadian television more, A. Not E. 1056, 560 WQAM. Got the Mad Dog from Atlanta. Of course, he's not Jewish anyway. He's always talking about all the Jews on this radio station. Jews and jocks, Jews and jocks, Jews and jocks. He'll be at Augusta, and of course, when they find out that he's really Jewish, they're going to kick his ass off the air. That's why Joe Rose will probably have to work tomorrow. Hank Goldberg at 3, who's very Jewish. He'll be here 3 to 6:30. Marlon's on deck at 6:30. Because now that Hank's on 3 to 7, unfortunately, we don't have room anymore for our good, close, personal friend.
That's where you see some arm problems.
The Crow. Marlins baseball, or Marlins and the Mets, 7:05 tonight. Eddie K follows the baseball game. Good luck to him on that count. And Joe and Mark overnight. Here's a great story. Delights of West Boca. They can help you lose that weight. Boy, good luck to Dr. Bob, by the way. We're praying for him. Dr. Bob Atkins had a little fall on the ice. Got some head problems. Anyway, speaking of Atkins, over 700 low-carb, sugar-free products are in stock at Delights. Whether it's the #1 Atkins diet or any other low-carb, sugar-free diet that you're on, trying to desperately lose that weight, Delights is a store you're going to love in West Boca because everything in the store is just for you. No crap. Come in and sample some of their newest bakery products like chocolate cupcakes and brownies by Control Carb, and each of them has only 1 effective gram of carbs per serving. Don't forget Delight's incredible selection of low-carb pastas, sauces, dressings, cheesecakes, chocolates, and their famous soft-serve Carbolite ice cream. Don't forget at Delight's of West Boca, all your Atkins brand products are 25% off all day, every day. Stop by, talk to their knowledgeable staff, and you'll see why I've been telling you about this incredible store for over 3 years now. They're one of a kind. They're open every day 10 to 10, and you'll be finding them on the northeast corner of Glades and 441 right next to Boston Market. Call them toll-free at 1-877-LOW-CARB or shop them on the web at lowcarb.com. Delights of West Boca, your official Atkins retail center. Get well soon, Dr. Bob.
Live and local. This is 560.
The radio's all yours now.
QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Way to wake and face she played.
Whole train was a hit parade.
Pros like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
And you knew who you were then.
There were no black Republicans. Maybe we could use a man like Marcus Garvey again. All the guys I knew were straight.
Whitey was the teacher, hey.
King Eldorado ran great. Those were the days.
11:01 at 560 WQAM. Here's one that says we should broadcast The Price is Right to the Iraqi people.
Only $50.
It's a brilliant show and pure Americana. And Bob Barker, hey, what the hell, why not? Huh? At least he's got his own real hair. White as the driven snow. Why not? Price is Right. Get it on there before Bob croaks. I mean, what's the story with Rod Roddy? He's not on the show anymore, is he? I don't, last couple of times I came across that show, no Rod Roddy. Maybe they wrapped him up in one of those big silk suits he used to buy in Thailand. Huh? Probably not going to Thailand anymore these days. Or to China. Or to Hong Kong. Singapore. What do you think? Oh, you see, the SARS thing is from cockroaches, they say. Cockroaches that got into the drains in China.
Hadn't heard that.
And picked up this bizarre strain of the, what virus? Coronavirus, is that it? That causes the common cold, but a very, very hostile strain. And then got into that apartment complex, and then, of course, then people started running around, and there you go. If it's not something else, if it's not La Bamba, if it's not a terrorist, if it's not the SARS, it's something else that'll get you, you know? Molly Ivins writes, Bush offers crooks and warmongers to lead Iraq. She is one of the very best, by the way. She says, oh, good. It looks as though we're going to have a big fight over post-war plans for Iraq as we did over the war itself. Just what we need, more of everybody being at everybody else's throat. Defense Secretary Rumsfeld, who seems prepared to run the world, favors one Ahmed Chalabi of the Iraq National Congress, an exile emigre group, as post-war leader, read figurehead puppet. Chalabi is bitterly opposed by both the State Department and the CIA. According to Night Ridder's Jonathan Landay, American military planes flew Chalabi and 700 troops, the newly named 1st Battalion of Free Iraqi Forces, into Nasiriyah Sunday to be integrated into General Tommy Frank's command. Landay reports senior administration officials said that Chalabi had difficulty recruiting enough to go into southern Iraq and may have tapped the discredited Badr Brigade, an Iranian-backed Shiite Muslim group, to get his 700 soldiers. Think how happy the Iraqis will be to see some detachment from their old enemy Iran. Landry also reports it was information provided by Chalabi that read Rumsfeld and Wolfowitz's pre-war belief that Iraqis would rise up and welcome the invading coalition with open arms, that the Republican Guard would surrender in droves, and the government Saddam Hussein would crumble in a matter of days. One hesitates to make sweeping generalizations, but anyone who studied the history of emigre groups into the endless fighting, infighting, and delusional quality of the emigre culture, see if you can think of an example. This gets better. Chalabi's been in exile for 4 decades, and in 1992 he was convicted on multiple counts of embezzlement with hundreds of millions of dollars in Jordan after the failure of his bank there. He was sentenced to... Now, see, they sent me this, and it's partly chopped off. Thanks very much, but I'd prefer to read my own. Where the hell is it? Huh? I feel like Casey Kasem now on that thing we played the other day. Is Don on the phone? Here it is. See, and this one is pristine. It's beautiful. Thanks very much, but send me a better copy next time, Carl. Thank you. Thanks for the attempt. Let's see. He was sentenced to 22 years in prison. He escaped from Jordan reportedly in the trunk of a car and wound up in London. Dick Cheney is also a Chalabi fan. The Iraqi National Congress has received millions in Americans' aid money, but the accounting has been very poor, a familiar story, and quite a bit of the money is unaccounted for. Chalabi favors Seville Row suits. The Rumsfeld-Wolfowitz choice for Viceroy designate of Iraq is General J. Garner, head of the Pentagon's Office for Reconstruction and Humanitarian Assistance. Garner is a retired military man with links to both the international arms industry and a Jewish lobby group. After retiring from the Army, Garner became president of Cy Coleman, a defense contractor specializing in military defense technology. He is currently on leave of absence from the company. The problem of Garner's alleged Zionist sympathies is also causing talk. He visited Israel as a guest of the Jewish Institute for National Security Affairs and signed a statement in October 2000 blaming the Palestinian Authority for the violence after the collapse of peace talks and praising the remarkable restraint of the Israeli army. The third member of the triumvirate that Rumsfeld and company want to run Iraq is former CIA Chief James Woolsey, who said last week that Iraq is opening the Fourth World War, counting the Cold War as 3, and that America's enemies include the religious rulers in Iran, states like Syria, and Islamic terrorist groups. So we've got a crook, a Zionist, and an old spy who thinks this is the beginning of WW4 set to run Iraq. How lucky can the Iraqis get? Is this what we thought we were fighting for? According to David Sanger's analysis in the New York Times, some hawks in the administration are convinced that Iraq will serve as a cautionary example of what can happen to other states that refuse to abandon their programs to build weapons of mass destruction, an argument that John Bolton, the Undersecretary of State for Arms Control, has made several times in recent speeches. The administration's more pragmatic wing fears that the war's lesson will be just the opposite, that the best way to avoid American military action is to build a fearsome arsenal quickly and make the cost of conflict too high for Washington. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Senator Ted Stevens suggested last week that New York City's cops and firefighters should work overtime without pay as a wartime sacrifice. I really feel strongly that we ought to find some way to convince the people that there ought to be some volunteerism at home. Those people overseas in the desert, they're not getting overtime. I don't know why the people working for the cities and counties ought to be paid overtime when they're responding to matters of national security. Stevens, Republican of Alaska, just voted for tax cuts that will give those who make $1 million a year $92,000 more to spend on polo ponies. Some must sacrifice more than others. Writes Molly Ivins. Oh, God. How is it that there are so many stupid people out there, huh? Stupid, idiotic jerks.
Idiotic jerks.
Exactly. Couldn't say it better myself. More tax cuts for the rich, but and especially in New York, the firemen and policemen should work overtime for free and make a sacrifice, the ones who are still alive after 9/11, by the way. Oh, my God. When are you people... Let me say it again. The only people who should be supporting this corrupt bunch of lunatics you have in there who stole the control of the government are the ultra-wealthy and the ultra-right-wing. The religious nuts. That's it. So if really they have 70% of approval, then time to head for the airport. Clutch that passport. Find someplace where it's safe. Finland. Because, believe me, we're finished. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM.
Yeah, good morning, Neil.
Good morning to you. Okay.
Couple of quick things. I was just transporting some people in my cab, and the woman remarked to me about the yellow ribbon. And I said, yeah, I got a yellow ribbon because I support the troops, but I'm against the war.
Mm-hmm.
She says, how could that be? You know, and I explained to her, and she says, well, I don't want to go there, which is fine. It's okay. But it's just, that's the mindset of people. Again, it's just they can't comprehend now you could, support that. But anyway, you got a great idea for the next poll already. You already said it.
Yeah.
What's the next country that we invade?
That's a pretty short list.
Yeah, but, you never know. It's just, you think it's Syria next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Rumsfeld keeps making that noise every day, so there must be some message in there.
Yeah, well, you never know with Rummy, but like you said, with Sharon and there are a bunch of right-wing lunatics there. But we don't look at that, because if you happen to be Jewish like I am and you are, you got to go along with the flow. But
no,
you know
no thanks. I don't go along with it either, no.
No, I don't go along with it because it's not the right thing to do. You have a good day, Neil.
And back
Thanks
to you,
for keeping
sir.
me going.
Thanks. Get out of those settlements, okay, you crazy old Jews? Now, where's the thing I was going to read here moments ago, huh? I got so much crap. I feel like Rick Riley now got so much crap, only not quite as Yahooish. Phil in Margate says, I'm a big fan of your show, but I have to admit that I've been a faithful listener of Howard Stern. That's okay. Lately, however, I've been turning your show at 9 a.m. instead of when the Howard show ends because of his ridiculous political rants about the Iraq bullshit and his leaning more and more to the far right. I even turn the channel when he starts to spew his crap early in the show. I've always considered Howard clever and insightful, but that feeling is lost for good. I enjoy his humor, but he must drop his political talk because he is simply not that bright to look past the Bush propaganda machine. Ironically, Howard's show has been censored now more than ever by the same regime he supports. Dumb, Howard. As your father said long ago, don't be so stupid, you moron. Phil in Margate. And you might be interested, Phil, in knowing, speaking of the being censored, the FCC now is threatening Infinity Broadcasting, for whom Howard works, that if they ever get another one of the major fines, they're going to yank their licenses, since they've paid millions and millions and millions of dollars of fines over the years.
The FCC can yank their licenses?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
I thought they just couldn't renew.
No,
renew
they can revoke your license.
How about that?
So, I don't know what he thinks he's going to accomplish by his pandering, or maybe that has something to do with it. I have no idea. But I never really considered Howard Stern, or even Howard David, to be like a great political analyst. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong about that, but I don't think so. Stick to the dikes, okay, Howard? The dikes and the big breasts. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Now that the U.S. has taken over Iraqi radio and TV, what should be the first show on it for them to be seeing? Neil Rogers Show 56 on Iraqi radio. How do you like that? Buenos dias. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong language. What do you say to them? Happy to see you, my friend. The South Park movie, oh, that's right, that's Pakistan. South Park movie 51, Baywatch 24, The Osbournes 23, Phil Henry Show only 21, Phil.
Are you sure?
Saturday Night Live 16, Jerry Springer Show 16, Benny Hinn 15, The Gong Show 15, I Dream of Jeannie 15, American Idol 14, Are You Hot 8, Hogan's Heroes and whatever, Gunsmoke, down from there, single digits. And the list goes on. Tomorrow, America's and the world's biggest egos tomorrow on our poll. 11 past 11 at QAM. How many times did you hear about a great opportunity, something that sounded pretty good, but you just didn't reach out and grab it in time, and then it was gone. It missed out. Right now is one of those times. Not too late to do it, though. Rarely does an opportunity interrupt what you're doing, but you ought to think about this right now. Interest rates have gone down even lower than ever before. Financial Group was offering an interest rate of 3.45%. Then they lowered it to 2.95%. Now, the good news is rates have gone even lower. 2.45% financing with Financial Group. You heard right. 2.45%. Call Financial Group toll-free. Ask away. There's no obligation. Call 1-800-940-LAND and they'll explain it all to you. How long will those low interest rates last? Nobody knows, but possibly not very long. It's a window of opportunity, so go through it with Financial Group and get an incredible low rate of just 2.45% and save yourself thousands of dollars. Call Financial Group. 1-800-940-LAND. What'll 2.45% financing do to those monthly payments? Here are the answers. A $200,000 loan costs you only $786 a month. A $100,000 loan costs you only $393 a month. Do it right now. Call Financial Group at 1-800-940-LEND. That's 1-800-940-LEND. They're an equal housing lender. Credit restrictions do apply and rates are subject to change without notice. 5.34 APR.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
O-R-O-N.
Hello, my little voters. Ay, 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 ay. I'm Rosanna Donna Layton, and I'm here to stay. Based only on my Hispanic sounding name, I'll be in office for life, and oh, it's all to do. The foolish constituents I pander to. You're from a tiny little island that's maybe 20 feet wide. Ay, ay, ay. No one else cares why you're whining outside the Dade County line. I'm as Cuban as can be when it's expedient for me to be Hispanic. Promoting community panic.
Increíble.
For the media camera. Epic professionally, look how I wear it on my sleeve like I'm your savior. For your meaningless causes and your aberrant indecent behavior.
11:16, stupid bitch is right. That's an understatement. I think
that fucking bitch
would be more like it. Here's the story that the caller was talking about from a publication called The Hill News, as in Capitol Hill. Representative Ross Layton defends Iranian group labeled terrorist front for Saddam Hussein. You ready for this? We're going to get this on the website, too, when I get done with it. When we get done with her, a senior lawmaker on the House International Relations Committee has defended her ongoing support for a group the State Department says is a terrorist organization fighting against coalition troops in Iraq. This group loves the U.S. They're assisting us in the war on terrorism. They're pro-U.S., said Representative Ileana Ross Rosanna Dana Layton in an interview with The Hill. This group has not been fighting against the U.S. It's simply not true, she insisted. Ross Layton is the chairwoman of the panel Central Asia and Middle East Subcommittee. The group, known as the Mujahideen-e-Khalq, MEK, is an Iranian opposition group in Iraq. The U.S. intelligence and diplomatic community agrees that MEK is funded by Saddam Hussein as it is engaged in efforts by the Iraqi leaders to suppress Kurd and Shiite uprisings. Shiite, there she goes again. The group killed several Americans during the 70s. It also participated in the 79 to 81 U.S. embassy seizures in Tehran. In 1997, the MEK and its various appendages were designated a foreign terrorist organization. Last week, the State Department spokesman Greg Sullivan told The Hill the MEK is considered a combatant, and U.S. officials believe its soldiers are undertaking some of the action in the south of Iraq, where enemy combatants have disguised themselves as civilians. This was dated April 8th, 2 days ago. Ross Layton vehemently disputed State's assertion to the Washington Times, calling the spokeswoman a weasel and a gutless bureaucrat who won't come out of his cave, the spokesman. Sullivan did not respond to requests for further comment. Ross Layton dismissed the group's anti-American actions as past history. She said it has no bearing on what's going on right now in the field. Oh, yeah, and Fidel, those past actions of his, that's ancient history, Ileana. He's a good guy now. He's our paisan, he's our buddy. Oh, and speaking of him, nice. Do you see what he's doing now to the dissidents, to the journalists?
No.
Oh, yeah, he's put them in jail for like 27 years, and all they got to do is like fart in the wrong direction, and he's whipping up again. I say, let's go get his ass next. Oh! Then you'll have my support. Then we can really have something going on in this community we can all get excited about, and for good reason. Can you even imagine? Woo! Anyway, in no meeting or briefing I've ever attended has anyone called this group anti-U.S. terrorist organization, she continued, adding that the group has provided useful intelligence to the U.S. government on Iran's nuclear ambitions. Ross Layton further said there is wide support in Congress for the MEK, and that it will be one of the leading groups in establishing secular government in Iran. In November, she released a letter of support for the MEK that she said had the backing of 150 colleagues whom she repeatedly refused to identify, not a single one of them. Because of the Iranian President Khatami's well-funded campaign on propaganda, lies, and misinformation, I've decided not to release the names of these signers, she said. Just like a lot of those members in our coalition in this latest glorious freedom fight. Don't say no names. The Democratic Anonymous Republic. In October, as Ross Layton's letter circulated the House, Representatives Henry Hyde and Tom Lantos, Republican and Democrat respectively, the chairman and ranking member of the House International Relations Committee, also wrote to their colleagues. The lawmakers' letter sought to give colleagues full and accurate information on the MEK. We are strong opponents of the current government of Iran, but don't believe that it's necessary to use terrorism or make common cause with Saddam Hussein to change Iran's government, Hyde and Lantos wrote, especially in view of the fact that the MEK is based in Iraq, has taken part in operations against the Kurds and Shiites, has been responsible for killing Americans in Iran, has supported the takeover of the American embassy in Tehran. We wanted you to have the full background on this organization, as most recently reported by the Department of State, so you may decide whether to lend your name to this letter of support. It further advised some colleagues have signed similar letters in the past and then been embarrassed when confronted with accurate information about the MEK. Committee spokesman Sam Stratman acknowledged the letter was sent in the fall, but declined to characterize its context. Ilem Poblit, an aide to Ross Layton, denied that it suggested the Congresswoman hadn't fully informed her colleagues about the group, and there's a lot more, which we can put it on our website today. How do you like them apples, huh? Ileana Ross, Rosanna Dana, an embarrassment to this community, but of course she's got a job for life. And you want to know why? We know why. Because she's... That's right. Picadabani. She's got a constituency. It's just like in the olden days on Miami Beach when all the Jewish politicians get all the old Jews to vote for them. It's the same. Birds of a feather vote together. They flock together. Same old tired crap. Don't use your brain to cast a vote. Just look for a name that looks like and sounds like yours. That ends in a Z. Here's a fax that says, hi, Neil and Carlos. Well, you're sure getting a lot of a play on this now after only 4 days. I returned yesterday from a week's trip to Germany, wanted to comment on the night and day difference. The reason I paused there is because night, it went over to 2 lines, and the typing it said NIG, and then the HT or well, I never know what they're going to say. On the night and day difference. At first glance, the coverage by television outlets like BBC World, CNN International, and the various German networks like ZDF, NDR, 3SAT is not all that different. The main difference seems to be an extra layer of editorial spin the American networks add. The European outlets seem not to have the need to go into lowest common denominator explanations for every story they're showing. The stories are allowed to speak for themselves, and there's just as much coverage of Pentagon and U.S. UK field commander press conferences as there are in any U.S. channel. As an example, the Iraqi information minister, well, it goes on about that. One other comment, while the American commanders match up well with the UK counterparts as far as being spoken well, interviews with British enlisted men come across as honest and even thoughtful, while the American troops shown speaking and acting with no commentary by reporters or anchors seem only to reinforce the worst Jerry Springer. Well, that's bad, see. That's bad. We don't want to knock the troops. I mean, they're a bunch of kids, most of them. In addition to which, it's not their fault. That's America for you, man. The education system here sucks. To compare the American education with the Brits, I'm sorry, but we're just not as polished as they are, okay? Just look at the president. And Tony Blair, okay? Is there any comparison there?
No.
A bad one.
Yeah, these kids are just regurgitating what they hear.
So back to the fourth world miasma that is South Florida. He says, at least we have the one true Neil God to show us the way. And there's another Beaner boy. I suppose support my hermano Carlos in his quest. Hermano without an H.
Are you sure he's a Beaner boy?
Well, I support my ERMANO? That's not, even I know that.
Hermano.
And he's talking about people being illiterate? Bob? Come on, Bob. Hermano with an H, sweetheart, in his quest to banish El Cubano George to work on the Moe Show as fill-in producer. What? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's get George on the Moe Show. Ha ha ha! Yeah, they can patch up the old fence there, you know, the one at the little problem they had. Here's one that says somebody signs it, troubled in Miami. Fox is gleefully reporting that Rummy has ordered round-the-clock fire... what is it? I can't read this. Airing of old combat reruns with Vic Morrow, capped off by the director's cut of Apocalypse Now on Iraqi TV. Thank you. Bad handwriting, but good facts. Thank you. God, so much crap in so little time, you know what?
In months that the Iraqi masses in Iraq are going to be fighting against the American invaders. And here they see not just civilians welcoming the Allied forces, but kids. Ages between 12 and 14.
Mostly
I mean,
kids.
You cannot stage that thing. This is a reflection of what the mothers feel, meaning...
Oh, are they going to sell a lot of Happy Meals at McDonald's, man? Oh! Yeah! It's going to be great. Get that faltering McDonald's stock, goose it right up there, baby. And that Coca-Cola stock, even though they stole all years, get that resuscitated, too. And then we can get some good dentists in there, you know, because, boy, they could sure use some help. Once we start rotting what they have left of their teeth with that Coke, with that pure sugar, like just sucking on sugar, like taking a goddamn syringe and putting sugar into your veins. Oh, and you know something? It's really fascinating. While they're putting on a happy face on the news channels the last 2 days, and we're seeing the statues coming down. Another one, in case you missed it, in Kirkuk this morning, another statue got taken down. But the market yesterday took a dump, and it's taken another 1 day. You want to know why? Because all the euphoria about how quickly the war went, and we took over Baghdad, and Saddam's probably dead, or at least he's gone hunting somewhere. And now they realize that we have to look at the real story of what's all about investing, and that's economics.
Uh-oh.
Very high unemployment. The economy is in a crash. The earnings reports are dismal at best.
Better hurry up and start that other war quick.
Yeah, that's right. Better get that thing on the Syrian front going real fast, Rummy, so we can deflect attention again from the real issues of investing, which should be the economy, as to all this other crap, this dog and pony show they put on. And they knew that was going to happen, but it didn't last. 3 weeks later and 1 day. And here we are and there's my old friend Ted David, who used to be a good guy.
First quarter 2003 is over. It's time to check on the...
Until I nailed him as being a spokesman for a bunch of fraudulent clowns on this gambling channel. You're a good guy, Ted. Get a real honest job. Get off of that thing. Always very defensive. Oh, you know, you talk about, what does he call it? What does he call that thing about Las Vegas? What's that term he uses? Intellectualized Las Vegas. Something like that. That's what it is, Ted. It's a crapshoot. Crapshoot. Here comes the bunny and there goes your money. It's called Wall Street. It's called the gambling channel. It's called all that fakery went through for 2 years. Hey, now you're riding the wave of the future, Mr. President. Remember that? That clown? You're riding the wave of the future. Future poverty is what he was talking about. Here comes the bunny, and there goes your money. .com. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. QAM, hello.
Speak to Neil.
Speaking.
How you doing, Neil?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I got 3 shows for you.
Okay.
Good Times, The Jeffersons, and Sanford and Son.
Okay, Jeffersons is my pick. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See ya. I like the Jeffersons. I love that show. They're a hoot, okay? Then they can find out what dark folks are really all about. Huh? No, seriously, the Jeffersons is a panic. I love that show. In spite of what Tom Jicka thinks, okay, he thinks it's a racist show. Tom, and by the way, we're almost reached a year now since the last article Tom wrote about anything local radio or TV, or even TV. And those puff pieces about some of the contestants on the so-called reality shows being from South Beach, that's not my idea of that's on network TV, Tom. That's not a local thing. This is the jackass who said I was going to be out of touch doing the show a part of the time from out of town. Touch this. I'll say it again, Tom. What a bitter disappointment, man. And then we got that right-wing Glenn Garvin now writing radio and TV in the Herald, and Kevin Bastard now he's a sports maven. That's what they do in the papers here. In fact, Tom Jicka, he used to write make the dog track selections. Now all of a sudden he's the radio TV guy. And what was that bitch in the Herald years ago? Oh, I can't think of her name. I've even got a bit about her. The phone call with her. She was the religion writer after she was the radio and TV writer. Curry, her name was. What was her name? Pat Curry. Very good, Neil. See, the old man still got it. Pat Curry. Yeah, that's right. She was the radio TV bitch, which hated me like poison. Then all of a sudden she was writing a religion column. See any connection there? And Kevin Baxter, he was the radio TV guy. And then all of a sudden he's a sports expert. Sports! Probably knows Clarence. So they just pick, just movable parts. And, it's so sad. It's so sad. A lot of you people deserve better, I'll tell you that. Thank God for me and what's her name? My friend the goddess. You're doing okay, Randy. You're doing a good job. She really is. I mean, takes herself a little bit too seriously, but that's okay. At least she's banging away, and she's not taking any crap. I heard 2 calls on her show yesterday. The signal's awful in Broward. And the first guy, we got to be together. We got all. And she's saying, no, we don't. I'm not going to. That's when my signal started getting real bad. Hey, I'll tell you something that's real good. Oleomed. I got a whole bunch of it right behind me here. I popped 2 in my puss this morning. You were the witness. You see me pop them right in my mouth. And Oleomed's good stuff for it. It's helping my blood pressure tremendously, and it can help you, too, in a lot of different ways. Oleomed soft gels contain the finest olive oil you'll find anywhere. Not just your regular olive oil like you buy in a supermarket, but super concentrated, loaded with health benefits for you. Oleomed every day can help reduce the risk of heart disease and high cholesterol. Plus, there are 14 different Oleomed formulas for you to choose from, each one combining pharmaceutical-grade olive oil with vitamins and minerals, herbals to support specific needs, from your bones to your blood pressure, like me, to the immune system. Just pick out the formulas that are right for you. Now there are 3 new Oleomed formulas, one to help you sleep, one to help you control your weight, and Cell Q10 for your heart. Pick some up today at Publix, Eckerd's, Walgreens, Whole Food Markets, Navarro's, and Sedano's, or order it online if you like, OleomedAmerica.com. If you want complete information about their products and what they can do for you, just call their toll-free number and ask away. There's no obligation. Call 1-866-OLEOMED. You can order online, by the way, OleomedAmerica.com. 1-866-653-6633. Get your Oleomed today and start popping it in that big pussy of yours.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
We have mercilessly taken the following material out of context without endorsement or permission from those depicted. It is our ongoing mission to make everything that is good and decent look as ridiculous as possible. We hope we've reached that goal, or at least made you laugh.
Dr. Phil McGraw is our guest.
I do yell at my children, and I don't know how to stop.
We'll talk about that more later. Now, let's go to your calls for Dr. Phil. And we start with Northport, New York. Hello.
Hi, Dr. Phil.
Hi, how are you?
I lost my job a few months ago, and it's kind of affecting my marriage. I've really been depressed about it. What would you prescribe?
Alcohol and drugs.
What? I don't know.
I'm contributing to the cause.
Oh, beautiful. Kearney, New Jersey. Hello.
Hey, boys. How's it hanging?
Fine.
Good.
Will you 2 kiss for me?
You're kidding.
No, I'm serious, you guys. I'm talking full tongue.
I don't mind doing that.
Hey.
I'm not ashamed to say so.
Obviously.
You just lean forward and we'll...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that a boy, Larry. Woo! Get some, dog.
Go away.
Loan me $50.
26 till noon at 560. I didn't know Larry charged for it. Here's a fax from Lou, who says, "Hey, Neil, isn't this amazing conversion among the right-wingers? They couldn't bear the thought of welfare, universal health care, or spending a dime on poor hero abroad. The genocide in Kosovo was fine with them. Now it's okay to lose American lives and billions of dollars to help the poor Iraqi people. Who's buying this crap?" Nice going, Lou. Good point. That's right. Let's not help the American people. Let's liberate the poor Iraqi people that we care so much about. That's why we had those sanctions on them the last 12 years, including the first 2 years of this administration. Who is kidding whom? And including the last 2 of a Bush 1, by the way. after the Gulf War won. There's a great column here. It's a little bit old, from the Chicago Tribune by Charles Rangel, congressman from New York. The war in Iraq, I will not be intimidated. Sean Hannity, a cable TV talk show host, recently challenged my patriotism, twisting my words to allege I had said our troops were deliberately bombing women and children in Iraq. Nothing could be further from the truth, writes Charlie. While pointing out that in all wars innocent people are killed, I emphasized that American troops were actually going out of their way to avoid harming non-combatants. This places our soldiers in even greater danger because in Iraq they don't know who the enemy is, whether uniformed soldiers are really surrendering or whether men and women in street clothes are suicide bombers. No matter how smart our high-tech weaponry may be, bombs and missiles can go astray and accidentally strike non-combatants. Such was the case reported in the press last week when more than 50 civilians were killed by an errant missile that exploded in a crowded market in Baghdad. Again, this is dated March 28. What Sean Hannity does not know, because he didn't serve in the armed forces, is that soldiers obey the orders of the commander-in-chief. Our troops are doing that. But if we were not in this war, there'd be no bombing at all, and it wouldn't be necessary to consider the issue of collateral damage. Hannity also refused to accept the fact that we started this war, and in rejecting the will of the international community, interjected ourselves in a dispute between the UN and Iraq. Nothing is more precious to Americans than our freedom to speak out, to disagree. It's frightening that in their passion for this war, some people are accusing anyone who opposes it of being unpatriotic. If members of Congress are going to be attacked for fulfilling their responsibility to their constituents to speak out on matters of war and peace, then we might as well tear up the Constitution. I don't support the war, but I revere the troops, and I'm drafting legislation that will show in a tangible way the country's appreciation for their sacrifice. The program will provide generous higher education and health care benefits for the troops after their discharge, their spouses, and their children. For those who wish to go into business, it will provide the necessary resources. I hope that supporters of the war who are questioning the loyalty of its opponents will support this initiative so we can provide a meaningful welcome when the troops come home. Demonizing dissenters has become the favorite tactic of the most vociferous supporters of this war in Iraq. At the same time, they're stifling debate, manipulating public opinion, distorting the facts about the loss of lives, betraying our troops, and defiling the Constitution. Those who oppose the war will continue to be vilified by some for their principled beliefs. I will continue speaking out for peace on behalf of my constituents in the name of the U.S. Constitution. I will not be intimidated, writes Charlie Rangel in the March 28 Chicago Tribune. Nice going, Charlie. You're okay in my book. He's a hoot. And he wants to do something for our troops. He's actually proposed legislation, as opposed, of course, to this administration, who are cutting veterans' benefits. At a time when we're sending hundreds of thousands of young American kids over there, with who knows what facing them, and we're cutting veterans' benefits. Nice going, W. You're really doing it, baby. You're all heart. Poll on NeilRogers.com today, now that the U.S. has taken over Iraqi radio and TV. What should be the first show on the air? Neil Rogers Show, 65. South Park Movie, 58. The Osbournes, 30. Baywatch, 28. With Pam Sue Anderson, just to piss off George. See, he thinks that he's the expert. You know, I guarantee you there's plenty of guys listening to me right now that want to see over and over again the old Baywatches with the old Pamela Sue, with or without real breasts. Am I right?
Absolutely correct, sir.
Right. Just because he's got a bug up his ass because she's got every disease out of the sun. Phil Henry Show 25, Jerry Springer Show 22, Saturday Night Live 18, Gong Show and I Dream of Jeannie each have 16, Benny Hinn 15, American Idol 15, Are You Hot 9. Are you hot?
No.
Lukewarm? Luke Skywalker? Oprah's got 8, Hogan's Heroes 8, Gunsmoke 7, Dallas 5, Caliente 5, Passion's only 5. They would pee in their pants if they saw that. And they might feel the change, too, if they saw Sheridan. And All in the Family 5. The other ones are like small potatoes. That's our poll right now on NeilRogers.com. Don't forget, Big Egos tomorrow. Now, what can we do to bond with Moe that we didn't do today? You know, I don't want to miss my opportunities here because they're fairly limited. Huh? Not that many days that he's actually in that kind of mood. I get the big wave. Hey, Neil, you know, and F you. It's great. We've developed a very strange rapport now this past week. You know, it's probably because you're here. Because he's really sour when George is around. I don't think he dislikes me. I think it's George more.
I think you're right.
Huh?
I think you're right.
In fact, George was the original one. He and I got along brilliantly. Just fine, even though he's a putz. But we got along great until George started with a checkered pants and a wig, and making all these caustic comments, making fun of this doddering old man with bad varicose veins.
That George.
I wouldn't even have known the guy had varicose veins if the Beast wouldn't have told me that, because he saw him playing golf in those checkered shorts on the... Well, don't laugh about that, because the Beast is already out, so I can't do anything to hurt him. Huh? He's safe. You know what I just did? I mean, not that I'm trying to get ahead of myself or anything. I just took this hour's page of the log and threw it away. Well, not that I'm in a hurry to get out of here, you understand. It is Friday, isn't it?
Don't do that.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. We got some heavy-duty stuff today, man. We got the Mad Dog from the Masters Golf Fet. Hank Goldberg at 3, in the studio, no less. Marlon's on deck at 6:30. Hank, you notice how he doesn't come around even when he's in the building when I'm here now? Used to, when he used to be my buddy. But now that I ripped him for not knowing anything about hockey, he admits he knows nothing about it. To be knocking overtime and the overtime lost point, he's wrong. He's dead wrong. When's the last time you think Hank watched a hockey game?
How many years ago?
I'd say
about 30, man.
Yeah. At least. We've only had the Panthers for 10, so we've certainly never seen any of their games. It's been a long time since that fat man ever saw a puck. Oh, he did say he's seen a schmuck recently because he was with Moe at the Christmas party. 20 till noon. Does he hate him, huh? Woo, man. Ever since that New York Prime thing, I think that was one of the, well, that wasn't the first one, but that was the frosting on the cake mode. That wasn't a good idea just because they didn't kiss your ass and give you a freebie. In fact, somebody was telling me the other day, I think my friend Derek at the track was saying, New York Prime is a great steakhouse. And I said, I'm not going all the way to Boca for meat. But that's what he said. Everybody in the world loves that place. And Moe gets on the air and trashes them, with Hank having recommended it to him because they made him pay for it and because they didn't suck his ass. I'm Moe Howard David, and aren't you going to treat me right? Give me the table right up by the front and pick up the check, aren't you?
No.
No.
Moe Howard Grimmer.
As a matter of fact, anybody that looks like that with that piece crawling around, probably pretty unappetizing, probably stuck him way in the back near the kitchen. I mean, what self-respecting restaurateur would want anybody sitting around where the other customers, the paying customers, can see him wearing a piece like that that's moving around? 19 till noon at 560 WQM. And speaking of that, what a segue to Chuck Alfieri. Oh, my God, am I a genius or what?
No.
Yes, I am. If you're tired of that bald spot, if you're sick and tired of watching more and more clumps of your hair vanish from the top of your head, well, guess what? One good thing is even a great-looking guy like Tom Brady, as young as he is, you'll notice he's developing that little hole in his head, kind of like the one Greg's been scratching for years. If you got bald spot, too, like most guys, get your hair back and look younger again and better than you ever dreamed you could, maybe even better than you did when you had your real hair. Because Charles Alfieri's got the latest technology going, his natural hairline system. Why do we call it that? Because, very simply, it looks natural. Not like those muskrats I had in my head this morning when I went into Moe's studio. Not like that ugly piece he's got that changes color, that chameleon hair piece. But like real, honest-to-goodness hair that's growing out of your scalp. And you got nothing to lose but the ugly, shiny bald spot because everybody gets Charlie's 30-day guarantee, which I've been telling you for 100 years now. If you don't love the way it looks and feels and smells, if you're not getting laid at least 15, 20, 30 times a day, Charlie gives you a full refund. And mention Neil Rogers when you call, too, because he'll knock $200 off the regular price when you mention my name, if you got the big pair. Call toll-free 1-800-321-2413 for a free, no-obligation consultation and get your hair back the real way. 1-800-321-2413 or log on to their world-famous website at charlesalfieri.com.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Oh, God.
Coming up tonight on Inside the Behind the True Hollywood Celebrity Music Biography Profile Story, we take a good, hard, stiff look into stardom. When Robert Palmer met two guys from Duran Duran, the magic they made together can only be described as, well, Robert Palmer and two guys from Duran Duran. They were the Power Station.
I only did the gig because Robert promised me I'll be able to f*** one of the Palmer girls. You know, those hot birds in the black mini dresses that he used in his videos. And a Pepsi commercial.
Duran Duran's Andy Taylor feels completely reamed by his association with Robert Palmer.
I feel completely reamed by my association with Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer was not available for comment. However, PGA legend Arnold Palmer was.
What are you talking about? I've never reamed anybody.
How do you respond to allegations that you promised Duran Duran's guitarist he could partake of the sweet love nectar waiting to be unleashed from one of the Palmer girls?
Look, I'm sorry. I've got to go do a denture commercial.
Anyway, the friction between Andy Taylor and Robert Palmer made for a tense environment in the studio, as heard on this rare archival tape of a Power Station recording session.
Okay, this is Some Like It Hot, take 4.
Yeah, take 4. That's great, Robert. What about me? I'm standing here with me man, and I. Well, maybe I'll just have to shag you, you f***ing liar!
The Power Station. We'd call it a supergroup if it wasn't another crappy 80s band. It's a big, juicy, sopping wet look at show business. Tonight on Inside the Behind.
14 till noon at 560 WQM. The shows are flying by this week, minus George. I'm sorry. Maybe you can take another couple of weeks. Oh, bad news. Rain postpones the first round of the Masters.
Oy.
And you do realize that Mad Dog is going up to Michigan tomorrow?
Why?
No, don't ask why, because he feels like it. He does whatever he wants. I taught him a long time ago. He worked a couple of days here, take a couple of days off, and he's been doing it. So Joe Rose, the little dog, will be on tomorrow for the Mad Dog. So he'll have been on Monday through Thursday, or no, I guess Tuesday, 3 days from the Masters, and not one hole has been played. I mean, they've been whacking around a little bit, some practice rounds, I guess, but not one real hole. There's been no real competition.
Oh, you got to hang around with all men for a couple days.
Bunch of Jews. Did we ever get the real story on that? We want the inside story about that. Inside the behind at the Masters. If they got any Pesadiki candy for Pesach yet. Probably just rolling around Easter eggs on the greens. What was that line again that the guy had? This is, I wrote it down, this is hallowed ground. Seriously, some of you sports people out there, you're crazy people, crazy, just like Mrs. Wallace says on Passions, crazy, crazy. Even Precious on that show, the little ape, has got more brains than you got. This is hallowed ground, don't change anything. I wonder what he thought back in 75 or whatever the year was they let Lee Elderman, the first black guy, they used to exclude blacks too. He probably wasn't too happy about that caller, that jackass. So the Masters postponed, so the first round will be tomorrow. Officials hope to get in 36 holes tomorrow, though more rain was expected in the morning. The hope is the 2T start beginning at 7:30. Oh, 2T. Oh, T for 2. That's what we ought to play, T for 2 and me for you. Don't let in the Jew. It's bad for you. Here's an interesting thing for my friend Lynn Samuels. Thanks a lot, Lynn. Hey, Lynn says she's the world's, she puts Liz Taylor to shame. Number one fag hag, and she's proud of it. At least we like Lynn anyway. Liz Taylor we could live without. What are you laughing about? We like Lynn a lot. She's a sweetheart, in spite of her Matt Drudge obsession and her blow-up doll. Former priest poses nude for gay magazine. A former priest in Argentina has agreed to pose naked for a gay magazine after coming out of the closet.
All right.
How do you like that? We have only one thing to say to Father Toole, or whatever the hell his name is down there, huh? That whole Latin American thing, there's something strange down there.
You're gay.
Yeah. Andres Gioni, who's 32, has accepted an offer to pose for South American gay magazine Imperio G. G as in gay. Diario Uno newspaper reports that he'll be featured in street clothes, underwear, and totally naked. Naked. After going public with his homosexuality, Mr. Gioni left the church and moved from his hometown of Mendoza to Buenos Aires. Well, he'll find lots there, believe me. Buenos Aires, a big city like that, in South America? See this? Mr. Gioni, who now works as a barman in a gay club, said, I met a man through the internet. I didn't want to live a double life. He met a man whose real name was probably Florence Geraldine. He also has found a publisher for bookies writing about his experiences in the church and the Buenos Aires gay scene. There you go. Just one more example.
You're gay.
Of that Catholic church.
In the church's gay scene?
Yes.
Is that what he said?
That's exactly what, something like that. I already Schmidt canned it, but I'm sure that's what it said.
There's no fact in the church.
Yeah, we know. Let's see. Oh, here we go with a little writing. Okay, not interested. Not interested. Don't even look at it. Even the one you typed out before, the 3 or 4 copies of it. Don't look at it. Little losers with no lives. Let's see, how's the poll coming? Now that the U.S. has taken over radio and TV in Iraq, what should be the first show on the air? Neil Rogers Show, 73. The South Park Movies, A67. Baywatch, 31. Boy, it's only a 2-house race right now. The Osbournes, 30. Phil Henry Show, 26.
Okay.
Jerry Springer Show, 25. Saturday Night Live, 18. Gong Show and I Dream of Jeannie and American Idol each have 16. Benny Hinn's got 15. I think they ought to see Ernest Ainsley, speaking of bad hair pieces. Can you say baby? Baby? Oh, you talk about and here's a guy that's supposed to be healing people. I've said for years, how come he don't put his hand on his head and get some real hair back? Or go see Chuck Alfieri. Benny Hinn and Ernest Ainsley. Are You Hot? Oprah, each have 9. Well, she sure ain't. Hogan's Heroes, 8. Gunsmoke, 7. Dallas, 6. All in the Family, 6. Passion still has 5, and then down from there. Happy Days has only got 3.
They don't know what those are yet.
They haven't found Fonzie yet. Hey! And Richie. Oh, I got some good stuff here. Pastor's affair shocks the church. The news hit each worshiper differently. One woman gasped as though a loved one had died. Oh, speaking of gasping, do you hear the thing about the Pentagon? One of the Pentagon upper shots was watching the TV yesterday when they were showing the thing with the statue in Baghdad. And when the one soldier put the American flag over the head of Saddam, it said he literally gasped. He let out a oi, like that. Well, probably not oi, but something similar. until he saw they took it back down again. Not a good idea. We're not here to occupy you. Well, at least we don't want to say that. We're here to liberate you, so we put the Iraqi flag back up there. Anyway, one woman gasped as though a loved one had died. Others wept silently. A handful of members walked out. It had just been announced during Sunday services that Reverend John J. Wagner was resigning as pastor of Christ the Rock Community Church in Cooper City. The reason, an extramarital affair. Since that announcement, March 30th, the 6,000-member congregation has been trying to absorb the shock. Jesus Christ has taught us to forgive, said Norma Barrios of Davie, who attended service the day of the announcement. We are praying for Pastor John. I know in my heart he's going to come on back to his senses. The church will work this out. Others expressed profound disappointment. I'm pissed off, said Nicole Becker Plantation. I know he's not God, but he's supposed to be an example to us. How do you like that, Father? 3 great letters to the editor in the Herald today. Army chaplains' tactics in Iraq are blackmail. Remember the story we had about the chaplain who was selling the water?
Yes.
Well, not selling, but he was making them an offer they couldn't refuse if they wanted the water. They had to get baptized.
It'd be better if he was selling it.
Yeah. Margaret Sheriff in Miami says, ever know a sheriff named Margaret? I think that was Nick Navarro's middle name. Margaret Sheriff in Miami says, Reverend Meg Laughlin's April 4th story, Army chaplain offers baptism in baths. I have 2 questions. How did Chaplain Josh Yano come to own a 500-gallon pool of water? I realize that soldiers could be immersed for baptism, but who furnished the pool and the water? Why is the Army allowing him to blackmail soldiers into baptism in exchange for a bath? I'd love to see this chaplain try to explain himself to Jesus on Judgment Day. How do you like that? Yeah, Father. It's Judgment Day, and you were like making those soldiers an offer they couldn't refuse.
Jesus Christ.
Want some answers. Here's another letter. I'm appalled that Josh Yano would withhold a single ounce of water from hard-working, battle-weary American soldiers. America was founded on freedom of religion and freedom from forced religion. Andrea St. James in Delray Beach writes this. Nice going, Andrea. Right on, sweetheart. You go, girl. Friend. American soldiers come from all backgrounds and religions. Yano serves on an American base in that arid Hell's Kitchen where America's best patriots are fighting for all of us. How dare Yano insist that anyone who's fighting out on the front lines be baptized before allowing them to bathe in his pristine pool. It's a good thing that I'm not God, or even...
No, God.
Because if I were, I'd be plenty ticked off, says Andrea. You and the rest of us too, sweetheart. Len Weiss in Boca. I've served my country for many years and I have the medals to prove it. I served in foreign lands for our constitutional freedoms. If I were in Iraq and needed a bath, I wouldn't be baptized just for the sake of a bath. I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish, he said. No one, regardless of denomination, should be denied sorely needed fresh water that this chaplain claims to be his. He should be reprimanded and then dishonorably discharged for neglect of duty. He's a bigot who thinks he's the only one who loves and honors God. Nice going, Len. And by the way, happy Pesach. How do you like that? What are you laughing about?
So Jews can't bathe, I guess, unless they convert.
Atheists, agnostics, Buddhists, Muslims? No.
Hindus?
No. No.
Satan
Seventh-day
worshippers?
Adventists? No.
Witches?
Mormons? Travelers?
Baptists? Oh, wait.
No. See, what, you should have quit while you're ahead. By the way, the guy that called in the first hour of the show, you're right about Beaner Boy. WQAM.
Hi, Neil. How are you
Yes,
doing
sir.
today?
Okay.
Oh, the hypocrisy is just astounding. You know, if you read carefully some other stories about that priest there who was forcing them to be baptized, these troops to be baptized, he's a part-timer. You know, he's like a weekend warrior who works for Vision Ministries, which is Billy Graham's son's ministry.
Yeah, that was in the story we had the other day, right?
Oh, it's
Franklin
all,
Graham.
It's all connected.
Mhm.
I mean, these people are all connected.
These are the people who are just rubbing their hands together with glee, just waiting for the moment they get the green light so they can go over there and convert all of these heathen Muslims, man, and turn them on to Jesus because it's good for business.
Just amazing. But back, I wanted to mention something about that Molly Ivins story that you had read
What a
little
great
while
story
ago.
that was. Yes, great
about
column.
the Chalabi,
Mhm.
and she mentions in the article about the triumvirate, and one of the other members of the triumvirate is Woolsey.
Right.
Well, she doesn't mention in that article who the third person of the triumvirate is. And
Yes, she did.
She does?
General, whatever his name is, from Orlando.
Well, I'd heard that it was the former ambassador to Yemen was one of the choices that might be put in.
No, in fact, they showed it on the news last night. General Garner from a retired general, big buddies with Ariel Sharon's right-wingers in Israel. That was in there.
Oh, well,
He's the one. Don't pay any attention to those Jamaicans.
Yeah. Well, I thought that he was he's the overseer of all three of these districts, and
No, Miss Cleo was the seer.
Well, one of these districts that they're dividing up Iraq into 3 districts is the ex-ambassador to Yemen.
Yeah.
And if you remember do you remember that?
Gotta go. Suicide bomber strikes at downtown Baghdad checkpoint.
And it's past the hour. Have a good day.
And I don't be saying have a good day. You're supposed to give us the rest of that. Good thing we got that just in the nicotine there. Suicide bomber, the first, I'm afraid, of many, 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 okay? We didn't so far see if there's any casualties. But I thought everybody was partying and dancing in the streets. I thought we had every scumbag rounded up and that this was going to make all the Arabs real happy and we got rid of Saddam and he's a bad guy and an evildoer, which he was. But I thought everything was kosher. Well, that's a bad word. Huh?
Guess not.
I thought everybody was circumspect and circumscribed and sized. I guess we didn't size them up quite accurate yet. Lots more grief to come, baby. Make no mistake about it. Don't have your party prematurely, okay? Don't have a premature in your pants. Hey, where are the bargains? I'll tell you, they're not in Baghdad. Although some of the people, are finding some bargains where they find the prices right, as in free. Those people would be really popular down here. They'd get along with the old yentas. Hey, we like stuff for free. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, it's not free at the swap shop, but fantastic bargains. It's next best thing. Over 88 acres chock full of bargains from indoor and outdoor vendors. The swap shop is the busiest retail location in the world before daylight. And at night, the swap shop has the world's largest 13-screen drive-in movie theater featuring great first-run movies. Why do so many people shop at the swap shop? No place else can you see millions of dollars worth of brand-new, brand-name merchandise at flea market prices. And everything you buy at the swap shop is guaranteed. Free admission, free parking every day of your life, 7 days a week. The swap shop is the cheapest place in the world to shop on Thursdays like today. Be a free buyer or a free seller every Thursday. You get free garage sale space before 5 a.m. and Mondays all day long. All of these things and lots more waiting for you at the swap shop. And, of course, it's on prestigious Sunrise Boulevard between I-95 and the Turnpike. Call 954-791-SWAP. And whatever you do, don't miss the free $1 million 3-ring circus every day, 7 days a week. The aroma stretches for miles. At the swap shop, 954-791-SWAP. Maybe even Precious is going to be there this weekend.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
I'm Frau Iliana Ross-Leitman, and I like scrubbing my smelly gorilla ass with soap made from jewels and listening to the Neil Roque Comunista Hour.
Their songs provided the soundtrack for a whole generation, and now they're finding a whole new audience with a CD that doesn't sound a whole lot like anything they've ever done before. It's the best of Crosby, Stills, and Cash.
Don't you know we're riding on the Marrakesh Express?
Experience deja vu all over again when Crosby, Stills, and Cash unveil a whole different take on this classic tune.
Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard.
It's a CD jam-packed with all the songs you'll want to teach your children, like
I am yours, you are mine. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash for Crosby, Stills, and Cash. You know, we used to sing like a couple of boys named Sue. But now the cash register's ringing because we're singing in a whole new register. You are what you are, and you make it hard.
The best of Crosby, Stills, and Cash. Walk the line straight to your local record store and pick up a copy today.
12:02 at 560 WQM. So anyway, here's this little twerp keeps faxing me. It says right on here, Joe Rose for the Mad Dog tomorrow on my schedule, and also the Mad Dog was saying that yesterday. So I guess the audience knows better than we do, right? Joe Z fills in, not Joe Rose. Well, it says Joe Rose on my schedule, okay? In addition to which...
Joe Zagacki sucks, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Here's a fax from Morgan in Boca, who's becoming extraordinarily chronic, but excellent faxes. He says the Iraqis must love us. After all, that's why they're showing us on TV, right? Never mind the pictures of the maimed children and dead bodies. You know, the collateral damage. A senior Muslim cleric killed in the job. Do you see that?
No.
And suicide bombing downtown Baghdad at one of the checkpoints. It says, I guess we don't need to see that stuff, the collateral damage. That's what spoiled the Vietnam War for us, right? When we started seeing all the dead bodies and all the kids started coming home in body bags. It just amazes me that people actually call you and say, how do you feel now, Neil? Don't you feel foolish? The Iraqis all love us. Some people only know what they watch on TV, which I think is what I said. I remember when Network came out in the 70s, it seemed like a dark comedy or fantasy. Now it's come true.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Oh!
Howard Beale must be rolling over in his grave or working at Fox News, it says. Now, he's not right-wing enough for Fox News. He's too far to the left in the box. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line as we're building our pool today. We're adding to it. And I wasn't joking before when I said that they were going to have some special program. Maybe they've already been on there because it's like 8 o'clock at night in Baghdad.
I saw some subtitles with Bush talking a little while ago.
Well, they showed that hours ago. So I guess that's already been on. And, of course, one has to wonder what Bush was saying to the Iraqi people. WQAM.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
This is Neil.
Sounds like me.
How you doing, Neil? Good show.
It is.
The
Pretty
love
good.
bug. Somebody forgot about the love bug.
The love bug?
Love boat.
The love bug. Oh, the love boat. The love boat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fantasy Island with the midget guy?
Hervé Philiges, you must be I was just going to say that. You're reading my mind, man.
And how about a couple instruction videos? The art of bathing and the joy of home circumcision?
Oh, that's bad. No, they're all circumcised.
Oh, really? Well, maybe we need
I
to
think.
more here.
Aren't the Arabs circumcised? Huh?
Just know about me.
No, I don't care about you, believe me. But aren't I think all the Arabs are circumcised. Although are the Muslims all Arabs? Are the Arabs all Muslims? I don't know.
Well, there's Filipino Arabs, too. I mean...
There's Filipino Arabs? What you be talking about, boy? There you go again, just sticking your foot right in it, and your puss, too. The Arabs are circumcised just like the Jews, and they like halava, too, but they don't want to admit it. Here's an article in the Salt Lake City, Utah Tribune by Brent Israelson. Uh-oh. Kuwait City. The headline is, Will Iraq be free like Kuwait? Originally built as a means to disarm Saddam Hussein. Now it's talking like the president. He calls him Saddam Hussein. Have you noticed that? I'm starting to talk like him. Maybe I can get elected too. Let's steal an election. Originally built as a means to disarm Saddam Hussein of his weapons of mass destruction, the war in Iraq soon became one of liberation. Military officials from the generals and the command center, the soldiers on the line, talked about freeing the Iraqi people, the poor, oppressed Iraqi people. But if freedom and liberty are what they're fighting for in Iraq, U.S. and British troops should next train their sights on their host, Kuwait. The soil from which the war against Iraq has been staged is home to a sectarian government that has yet to extend basic individual rights to all. Although Kuwait's ruling family begrudgingly brought back an elected parliament in 1992 after a 6-year absence, power remains firmly in the hands of the ruling As-Sabah family, which fancies itself as a benevolent monarchy that governs according to Islamic orthodoxy. It proclaims ideals of freedom, however, so far have fallen short of the ideal. Women here cannot vote nor hold political or judicial office. Naturalized male citizens of non-Kuwaiti descent must wait 30 years for such privileges. The formation of political parties or other associations for political purposes is illegal. Now, I'm trying to think. Oh, that's right. It wasn't Kuwait. It was Qatar that they had that story on 60 Minutes a couple of weeks ago.
Which story?
About the women can vote and they hold office. It wasn't Kuwait. The formation of political parties or other associations for political purposes is illegal. Only Kuwaitis can own property. The country's 100,000 Bedouins, itinerant shepherds whose people have roamed these parts for centuries, have no legal national status and are regularly deported and denied access to state social services. Israelis and recent visitors to Israel cannot travel here.
Oy!
The Kuwaiti media, restricted by numerous laws, rarely criticizes the government, religious leaders, or members of the ruling family. In addition to laws that infringe on basic human rights, the state's official version of Islam has inspired laws that can seem oppressive to non-believers. Don't even try to bring Rodin's Kiss here. Did I say Rodin? Well, what do I know about art, you know? One Kuwaiti law provides a 3-year prison term and a $10,000 fine for anyone who distributes or exhibits pictures or drawings in forms of anything immoral. Alcohol and extramarital sex also strictly prohibited by law. Just this month, a famous Kuwaiti artist was arrested after police found a case of vodka in his car. Oh, my God. Wait till they find out that Precious is drinking gin on Passions. Despite the government's spotty record on personal freedom, Kuwaitis probably will not be liberated by British and American troops anytime soon. The oil-rich emirate is pro-West and, as far as anybody knows, possesses no weapons of mass destruction. How do you like that, huh? Kuwaitis. Kuwaitis good, Saudis good, Syrians not too good, Iranians pretty bitty bad.
Pakistanis?
This week not too bad. Maybe next week we change our mind and come back to reality.
Turks?
Turks, we don't like them no more. Even the $16 billion we couldn't bribe them with. I'm pissed off at them. Let's go in and get the poppies. WQAM.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. You know, I was thumbing through a local music magazine the other day.
Yes, sir.
And on page 35, man, your post popped up. I couldn't believe it.
A local music magazine?
Yeah, it's called Rag Magazine. I'm serious. And you're on page 35, a big headshot of you.
Huh.
And I just wanted to know, at least your company spent a couple $100 on you.
It was an ad?
Yeah, for you.
The company didn't spend any money on us.
Well, what was it?
That was a little trade-off. That was
a trade-off. They didn't spend a dime. Are you kidding me? It's at least it's something. You're right. It's something.
Yeah, you know, and it was kind of odd because it's a great little local magazine, and I was just surprised to see your puppet in there. So anyway, have a great day.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the good news. What is it called?
Rag Magazine.
Rag?
Yeah, Tommy set that up for us.
Oh. Oh, we didn't spend any money for that. We got those billboards out there. They're all over town, man, with my big puss on it. And on the Turnpike now, they moved the one from the intersection of 595 and the Turnpike to one. I'm right on Moe's ass now, as I'm coming to work every day. I'm right on his ass. How do you like that, Mo? What do you say? I figured, no harm being on his ass because
gang rape is funny.
Right. He's used to it. Got a lot of experience. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Suicide bomber strikes at downtown Baghdad checkpoint.
Assassination of two prominent clerics inside the Ali Mosque in An-Najaf. We're going to go to the phone right now, and Trudy Rubin joins us. She recently profiled one of these clerics for her paper, the Philadelphia Inquirer. Trudy, what do you have for us?
Very Jewish to me.
Well, this is a very significant development because this man, Syed Abdul-Majid al-Houthi, had come into Najaf with American forces, and the U.S. government at the highest levels had placed great hopes on what he was going to do.
This is a bunch of hooey.
He was the son of the man who was the leading Shia Ayatollah in the world at the time of the Gulf War, an Ayatollah who endorsed the separation of mosques and state.
She said,
and the younger al-Houthi, who was a scholar, not an Ayatollah, had come back and was going around to towns around Najaf trying to line up religious leaders to work with the Americans and to work for a democratic Iraq. And so his assassination is a serious blow to U.S. efforts in the South to get religious leadership behind the kind of changes that the president says he wants in Iraq.
Okay, that's enough. Boy, I was just sitting back there getting all these faxes off the machine. Almost let her continue babbling on there after she said 11 past noon at 560 WQAM. I'll tell you, says a lot because they're all whipped up and fired up about the great deals they're giving you right now. My good buddy Tom Lehman and Joe Prieto at Hallett Pontiac GMC. Right now they got more Neil Rogers deals going on. Neil deal number 1, get yourself 0% financing for 60 months on every Pontiac or GMC on the lot in stock right now as I speak. Neil deal number 2. Get up to a $4,000 rebate on every new GMC and Pontiac in stock. I heard right and you heard right too. Get up to a $4,000 rebate on every new car or truck in stock. And deal number 3. If you're currently a GM Smart Lease or Smart Buy customer and drive a Chevy Blazer, Olds Bravado, or GMC Jimmy, buy or lease a new Pontiac or GMC and get an extra $1,000 off the price. Stop by Hallett and test drive the all-new and powerful Pontiac Grand Prix. Hallett Pontiac GMC at 13401 South Dixie Highway. That's a great location because it's the same place they've been for 35 long years, giving people great deals and treating them right. US 1 across from the Falls. Open every day, 7 days a week. If you want more info on any of the Neil deals, just call the Neil Deal hotline, 1-888-534-4211. 1-888-534-4211. And don't forget, please, all Neil deals are subject to credit approval. See dealer for details. Hallett Pontiac GMC. Even Beaner Boy says they be professional grade.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Mention my name to Vice Marshal Goering.
Don't like all the heartburn. Every time I see that retarded dimwit on my TV. He's President Trump.
Yes.
Republicans muscled in, an inarticulate idiot. I don't know why President Thumb. Oh, what I'd give to count votes once more and get who we all voted for. Why did you want this? Dum dum dum, lips thrumming, stupid heat. Dum dum dum, mindless drunk and rich kid. Dum dum dum, he's even dumber than me. He's President Dumb. You don't care what it took. You got him in by hook or crook. The Christian right knows what's best for you and I, but have no fear. We've got a great leader here with President Dumb.
You know how sometimes you go into a store, it'll say, have a coupon, it'll say one per family?
Right.
I'm thinking we ought to do that with the presidency, too, you know? I'm sick and tired of these dynasties, these empire builders, you know, the Kennedys, the Bushes, no more of that. I mean, when you look back through American history, we had, you know, John Adams and his son was John Quincy Adams, the second and sixth presidents. You know, who needed that? One per family. I mean, we had Teddy Roosevelt and FDR, but they were like cousins. I'm not sure I think they were like second cousins. Were they?
Yeah, there were some like weird-ass cousins.
Kissing cousins? No.
Kissing cousins, yeah.
No, they were not.
You sure?
Positive.
How do you know?
I was there. Eleanor told me. Well, she was busy. What other ones? We had JFK, and then they were grooming Bobby, of course, and didn't work out. And then what else? That's it. And then we got Bush 1 and Bush 2, and of course they got Jeb, they're grooming in the wing so we can have like a dynasty. That's what the Kennedys had in mind. They wanted 2 terms for JFK, 2 terms for Bobby, and 2 for Teddy. And the same with the Bushes. They had only 1 for Papa Bush because it didn't work out too well in the second one. Read my lips. I'm a wimp. You know, all that stuff. Not so good. Got his ass swamped by Bubba. So then we got W in there, well, by hook or by crook. And now we got Jeb, like I said, waiting in the wings. Then there's always George P., you know. What? I'm sure they're grooming him.
Oh, I'm positive they are.
I mean, he can't sit out there doing wheelies in the parking lot all day outside his girlfriend's thing. He can't do that forever. Sooner or later he's got to butch up a little bit. Plus he used to look pretty good, George P. Maybe we could take over everything. We should play nothing but, it says, maybe after we take over everything, we should play nothing but Fox News, it says. After a couple of weeks of Fox News, they'll be so brainwashed they would vote for Bush in their first election. Yeah, they'll write him in, the Bushmeister in Iraq. Butch good. You heard them saying, Butch good. I think they said Butch, not Bush. In other words, they're trying to say, no maricones here, Butch, we're very Butch. We don't fight like it, but... somebody says Hee Haw, add that to the list. It was a favorite of George Herbert Walker Bush. That was his favorite show, Hee Haw. Yeah, it's true. That was right up his alley, the great intellectual that he was. While his friends at the Carlyle Group were doing business with the Bin Ladens, he was busy at home watching Hee Haw on TV. With the mother of our country, Barbara, what's her name? Betsy Wright.
Betsy Ross Wright?
Betsy Ross Wright. No, Martha Washington. Isn't that who he was married to? Bush Senior? With the white hair? For him, no? She ain't the epitome of a spitting image of Martha Washington. God almighty. Barbara Bush. Barbara had a little bit of a... Do we still have that in there, I wonder? Oh, I would love if we had that in there. Where she does that thing with the burping. Oh, I hope we do somewhere. You think that? Not in there. I'll find it. Here's a fax from Richard in Coral Springs says, and I'll only read part of it, Richard, because it's only a 4-hour show. Not only is this administration and its Central Command seemingly overjoyed and gleeful at the body count, they continue to pepper the media and the lame lambs who are the citizens of this country with their own version of glorified details of war, maiming, destruction, violence, and bloodshed. Their overjoyed attitude to killing so many countless of thousands is perhaps the single worst display of propaganda since the days of Nazi Germany, when they gleefully published death tolls on how many Russians were killed on the front, how many innocents burned in their ovens, and how many citizens were happily cheering on Hitler as he walked on the streets during the war. This reprehensible display of Nazi-era-style propaganda only goes further to solidify and show the world that we are arrogant, self-righteous, self-serving, and non-caring. It also shows firmly that the current American president is perhaps the worst single president not only in modern times, but the history of this nation. That's what Helen Thomas said, and she's been around 100 years or so. While people suffer back home, this American president is spending over $300 billion to fight this war and watch countless die, including his own, who he sent over to this backward land all in the name of God, what is just and what is right. This is a sick and completely demented strategy, plain and simple. This administration must go and go in the 2004 general election before the American people continue to suffer while their children cry out in hunger and vain. And Richard in Coral Springs, you are...
Absolutely correct, sir.
He's always good. He's got his thumb on it. 5670560. A lot of bedtime stories today. We apologize for that, don't we?
No.
No, we don't. Oh, Passions in Talk Radio. This is cute. And what is this one here? Is this Rich Pachter? Oh, no! You aren't going to believe who this fax is from. Oh, my God. This is the most disgusting, and of course he's ripping me for my... Goodbye, Greg, you idiot. I'm not interested. Not going to read more. I read about 3 words of this.
Read?
Greg, that simpering Greg from Port St. Lucie.
Oh, okay.
No, not Greg Reed. Oh, I'm not going to Greg Reed any of it. What a simpering idiot. Like, I need a lecture from this schmuck on what to say. I'm going to say what I believe, and you can drop dead, okay, you idiot? You quisling, you moron, you. Yeah, I need instructions from him and the other chronics out there on what I should say and how I should present it. I say what I believe, okay? And I believe you're an idiot, Greg. Get lost. And by the way, Greg in Boynton Beach, or wherever the hell you are, St. Port Lucie.
Greg hates you.
Yeah, he don't like you either. Passions and Talk Radio. Look at this. Luis Lopez Fitzgerald looks a lot like Moe. Oh, this is... Miguel Lopez Fitzgerald looks a lot like Geldy. Miguel looks like Geldy? Ha, ha, ha! Teresa Lopez Fitzgerald Crane looks a lot like Randy Rhodes. Neil Rogers looks a lot like the original Ethan. Oh, yeah, right. I only wish. George Rodriguez looks a lot like Timmy. That was the midget that died, you know? The Hammer looks a lot like Eve. Yeah, bigger Eve with a lighter complexion. TC looks a lot like the Mad Dog. And Gwen looks a lot like Phil Henry.
Are you sure?
God bless America and all those people that saved little Jessica. Amen. Saving Private Jessica, baby. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. By the way, Greg, I tore up your 2 pages of crap into little pieces and only read about 8 words. So I'm glad you wasted all of that time on Drek, El Dreco. You simpleton, you. You have really done it now. And that was it. That was the end of that. God, just amazing how emotional some of these people get over the fact that there are those who don't agree with their bullcrap. You know, all these real educated, all these rocket scientists out there who do a lot of reading and really know where these places are on the map and really know a little bit about history. Right. Anybody who's a chronic talk show host listener like you are, Greg, needs a lobotomy, needs mental help. Maybe you need a boyfriend. Maybe that's the problem, okay, since Andy in Hollywood turned you down. WQAM.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, you know, all those happy talking heads, that was kind of disgusting last night. You know, we won. We knocked down a statue.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You know, they don't...
Listen, this morning, they had, what was the blurb on it? It said, not breaking news, but the latest development, and they showed in Kirkuk where they were tearing down another statue. Latest development, and like this was a big story. They're tearing down another statue.
You know, they said there was no opposition when we went to Baghdad. Well, obviously not. What, we killed about 40,000 of their army and the rest just ran away? So what opposition would be left?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were like so surprised at it.
Yeah.
But there's a new battle raging.
Well, the sad part of it is there are pockets, little pockets of it, and there are going to be a lot more innocent people die. That's the sad part.
Well, absolutely. You know, the new battle, of course, once oil is awarded, which it has, and telecommunication contracts are given out, is that Planned Parenthood wants to go in there to teach them, and the church is opposing it,
right.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the real thing is...
You really believe that the Bushmeister and his people are going to let Planned Parenthood go anywhere near these newfound Americans, our new colony?
Never. You know, talking about Jessica Lynch, the sad thing is she joined so she could get the $20,000 and get an education. And obviously, if we just trickle down some of that billions of dollars into places like West Virginia, she could have gotten her education and would have became a teacher without going through this harrowing experience.
Mm-hmm.
And we could have hired, obviously, people who want to be soldiers and just pay them, you know, fairly, like, you know, you're joining to be a cop.
Yeah.
But the real thing where Americans will love this war and say this was the right thing to do was in 6 months from now, when gas is, 99 cents again, say this is the greatest thing, we should have done this maybe 10 years ago. That will really get everybody back on the Bushmeister side, even for the people who are on the fence.
What makes you think that's going to happen?
Well,
it's not going to happen.
Well, they're going to get gas. I mean, oil now probably 40 to 50% below wholesale. Okay, you know, we're going to trade in, you know, food for oil.
Yeah, but we're not going to get the benefit of that. We're not going to get any savings. Maybe it'll go down a dime. Maybe.
Well, it's already gone down a dime, so maybe another one.
Right. What a bargain, man.
That's it.
Good luck to us. Okay, I'll see you at BP Amico. Not. Oh, let's see. Here's another article about Bob Atkins. I think it's probably the same thing we had before. Had the habit of walking every morning from his home to the Atkins Center. Had a slip and fall on the ice, and he's still alive, but he's in, now let's see. No change in his condition, not a good thing and not a bad thing. Waiting for progress. He remains in critical condition. Ooh, had a nasty fall, Dr. Bob. And what was the caustic, horrible thing that you said? You thought it had something like another heart problem?
Yeah, some health issue.
From all that meat and cheese. That's what you were intimating. You didn't say it, but all that meat and cheese and those eggs and all that high cholesterol and fat. That's what you were thinking, but didn't want to say it because it would have been very insensitive and cruel, and you'd be too much like George.
Would have been ironic.
27 past or moronic. 27 past noon at 560 WQAM. If you're looking to do a little more this year for somebody's birthday, new baby, or to celebrate Easter, send them a Vermont teddy bear. Vermont teddy bears are beautifully handmade in Vermont. Each one's a little bit different. They make a personal and sentimental gift that will be loved forever because they're guaranteed for life. They last forever, unlike flowers that die in a couple of hours. Bear counselors are ready to help you choose from over 100 bears when you call 1-800-829-BEAR, or you can shop online at VermontTeddyBear.com. Send the hair bear for Easter, complete with removable bunny ears, or thank your administrative professional on the 23rd with our Lifesaver Bear. Every Vermont teddy bear comes with free card and candy, all delivered in a colorful gift box with an air hole. That's an air hole, so even the presentation is extra special. Let me say it again, air hole. You won't believe the reaction you'll get when you send a handcrafted Vermont teddy bear. Overnight and Saturday delivery is guaranteed, so call today toll-free 1-800-829-BEAR or shop online at VermontTeddyBear.com. Do a little more this year and send a Vermont teddy bear for Easter or any occasion. That's 1-800-829-BEAR, and be sure and tell them that old Neil told you to call.
QAM.
All right.
The stock market will be soaring, launch another orange warning. It's time for Halliburton to get busy. Out of patience, out of time, let's get those oil fields online. If humans have to die, well, that's a pity.
I'm dying over here.
Marching in, walking tall, like John Wayne with big balls. Kill anyone who dares get in our way. Don't give a crap who it is, from women down to little kids. We got to pump that oil right away. Because war is good for business. Carlisle Group. War is good for business. And Global Crossing too. War is good for business. Boss and friends agree. War is good for business. Even MSNBC. Who steps? Point the camera over here. Look at the warm and welcome cheers of people glad to see us liberate Iraq. Only the spin machine knows what the camera doesn't show. All the rifles we got pointed at their back. Our propaganda's working fine. Got them goose-stepping in line. Those morons will buy anything we say.
Yes.
And those who choose to follow blind will be rewarded in kind. With cheaper prices at the pump to pay. They'll say that war is good for business. Honeywell. War is good for business. Chevron and Bechtel. War is good for business. She is right. War is good for business. They bring good things to life. Two steps.
1232 at 560 WQAM. By the way, for all those mindless idiots out there who were so impressed by those selective vision they saw on their TV set yesterday, these selective images, because they don't have a brain and can't think for themselves. The Red Cross says things aren't really worth celebrating about. While network shows jubilant Iraqis, the Red Cross say the situation is unacceptable, is what they said. That's their word, unacceptable. While networks around the world are showing pictures of jubilant Iraqis, albeit in areas that have suffered most under his regime, including the very poor Saddam City and the Kurds in the north, the International Red Cross says the situation in downtown Baghdad is another story. In a phone interview from the center of Baghdad, Red Cross representatives said the situation is very hostile and that the American forces are shooting at anything that moves, including one of their own convoys. At the time of this filing, the IRC have been unable to evacuate one of their seriously injured colleagues, which may prove fatal. The streets are scattered with casualties, and U.S. soldiers are firing at anyone that tries to evacuate them. The IRC said they are shooting at the clearly marked vehicles, and preventing treatment of the wounded is not only against the Geneva Convention, but is unacceptable. Preventing treatment of the wounded is not only against the Geneva Convention, but unacceptable. The situation in the city is extremely critical. Hospitals are reported to be overwhelmed by the inflow of war-wounded patients, and some are without water or power. The water supply for Baghdad is becoming an issue of major concern following reports that the Qanat raw water pumping station in the northern part of the city has also stopped functioning. But hey, don't let any of the facts confuse you, okay? Because these people were just in the way. They were collateral damage, and that's what it took for us to free them.
Saw something on the news about light fighting, but whatever's going on with that bridge, I don't know if that was now or some other part of the city.
And Harry Fleischer says weapons of mass destruction will be found, and if they can't find them, we'll make damn sure we conjure some up.
Light fighting my ass.
In addition to which, don't you remember when we had him cornered what was supposed to happen? He was going to use chemical and biological weapons against our troops. Did that happen?
No.
There's one of the best stories that I had you put on the website today is one about the possible deal that was made with the Russians.
Right.
That he could, with the Russian embassy. Where the hell is that story? It's only a 4-hour show. It's in here somewhere. You got it? Taken care of. Come on. Spoils of War by Bob Herbert. Cheney links to bids under attack. Better late than never. Top U.S. lawmakers have called for investigations into the awarding of reconstruction contracts for post-war Iraq, especially to a company once headed by Vice President Dick Cheney. Thank you. I got it right here, but thanks for the other copy. Can never have too many. As U.S.-led forces encounter a baffling lack of resistance from Republican Guard forces in Baghdad, come reports that Iraqi President Saddam Hussein may have struck a secret deal for exile in return for capitulation. Arab news agency Al Jazeera, which of course their credibility is marginal sometime, says there are reports that Russia's brokered a deal with Iraqi leaders where Hussein would surrender Baghdad without resistance in return for being exiled to a safe country. Al Jazeera says that Lebanese television reported that Hussein is in the safety of the Russian embassy. Huh. Well, you believe whatever you want to believe. It's a possibility.
Of course.
And, of course, the fact that they dropped those 4 bombs, those gigantic 2,000-pound bombs on that compound where he and his son supposedly were, and they haven't found any traces of him. They found families there. They found some bodies. Not him. And, of course, we don't have his DNA anyway, but I guess even the little kids there that they pulled out of the rubble didn't look like him. Unlike the clown sodomy, they just couldn't pass as a double or triple. Just mention that in passing, okay, for those of you who got all the answers, those of you who are a bunch of lemmings for this government, for these corrupt lunatics. And now it's on to Syria, and then it'll be on to Iran, and we're going to liberate every one of the oppressed peoples of the world, except, of course, our own, who are becoming more and more repressed. Fleischer says, well, still not certain on the status of the Iraqi regime. Well, what the hell does that mean?
It's agenda and other areas of the agenda.
I see. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. QAM, hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
Just put a little good news there. Those 2 assholes that killed the deputies, they committed suicide.
That shot the BSO guy?
Yeah, they found him in the back of a Jeep or something.
Right. Excellent. That's the best news I've had all week.
They ran a hose in there and did themselves in with carbon monoxide.
Good.
Hey, are you no longer allowed to play?
I beg your pardon?
Are you no longer allowed to play the Fox News Heather bit?
Sure we are.
Oh, okay. Would you play that for me, then?
Absolutely.
Okay, then a little good news there.
Thanks for the good news.
Okay.
Fox News Heather. Now, that certainly ought to be in here. I shouldn't have to go through the thing with a disc. Huh? It's not in there. The call is in there. I'll have to find it on here. You know, this George, man, I'm going to tell you something. When he comes back, you better straighten his ass out. You know what I mean? It's not in there. Don't be looking.
I'll kick his ass.
Kick his ass, okay?
One of the few people that are shorter than me.
Tell him we had a damn good week this week. The audience seems to be pretty happy. He damn near won that poll yesterday about whose voice they hear. They're just foaming at the mouth. Now, of course, you know, next time he does the show, while you were gone, Neil was ripping you behind your back and blah, 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 you know.
Well,
now,
yeah. Instigating is one of my jobs.
I have to make sure, by the way, I'm going to play this right now, but I want to make sure that it's the censored version. So if you hear a little dump, you'll understand that maybe it wasn't. You know, it could be exciting. I think there's only one of those, and I think they have that disc up in Toronto. I think. But you never know. In fact, maybe this actually is really Condoleezza, you know. We'll see. We'll see when it gets to everybody wants to.
Fox News Heather, we really like to fuck you.
Excellent.
Fox News Heather, we really like to fuck you. We really like to fuck you. You're a fine-looking fascist and a perfect little Nazi. I want to filter coffee through your soiled panties. Distorting news, looking smug and sweet. Flapping your lips like Ann Coulter's roast beef. Fox News Heather, we really like to fuck you. Oh, yeah. Fox News Heather, we'd really like to you. We'd really like to you.
You ever think about doing that to Lisa? Do you, bitch? You want it, don't you? Three-way. Her and your man Bingo Man. Who's your man Bingo Man now?
The little pink rolls bud between your buns. I'll bet it tastes like bubble gum. See you next time you need a story done, since it takes a liberal to make you come. Fox News Heather, we'd really like to you. Oh yeah. Fox News Heather, we'd really like to you.
Okay, 21 till noon, till 1. Geez, don't say that, boy, especially here on a Friday. It is Saturday, isn't it? I'm just trying to push things along a little bit, you know. I'm just on speed or something. I feel like it. I sound like it. Maybe that's because I can actually speak this week. How many votes we got on the poll there? 498. It'll be 500 momentarily. Now that U.S. is running radio and TV Iraq. What should be the first show on the air? Neil Rogers Show 92, South Park Movie 76, Baywatch 37, The Osbournes 36, Jerry Springer Show 34, Phil Henry Show 30.
Are you sure?
Saturday Night Live 24, I Dream of Jeannie 21, and Gong Show 18, and then fairly small potatoes after that. I'll tell you some people who are really big potatoes, and that's my good friends at Dial a Mattress. For years I've been calling them every time my mattress is worn out. You just have to face it. You know, it affects your back and the way you feel, the way you sleep. If you don't get a good night's sleep, you do feel like crap. It's one of the most important purchases you'll make. So, the bottom line being, what are you going to do? Rush out to your department or bedding store and waste a lot of time and effort and gas and money and get ripped off paying for somebody's high overhead? Or make the one smart, easy call I've been telling you about for years and talk to our friends at Dial a Mattress. That's all it takes. You'll talk to trained bedding experts who know the bedding industry inside and out and get you exactly the mattress you're looking for at an unbeatable everyday low price. Unbeatable delivery deal. Just call 1-800-MATTRESS, M-A-T-T-R-E-S right now, and you'll be guaranteed a great night's sleep for years to come from Dial a Mattress. They got the best in the business. They got Sealy, Serta, Simmons, King Coil, every size and style you could possibly want. And don't forget, Dial a Mattress is ranked numero uno when it comes to customer satisfaction because they know how to treat their customers right. Once you buy a mattress this way with one easy call, you'll never go back to those showrooms again. And please don't forget, when you buy your mattress from Dial a Mattress, they'll set it up and take away the crappy, soiled, smelly old bedding for free. That's right. Dial a Mattress sets up the new and takes away the old bedding for free. So make the call right now to Dial a Mattress and enjoy a great night's sleep for a long time to come. 1-800-MATTRES. That's 1-800-MATTRESS. Be sure and tell them that old Neil and Fat Boy told you to call.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
People piss me off.
Fox News coverage of the liberation of Iraq continues in a moment with the latest surrender tallies, the phenomenal battle successes of the last 24 hours, and a special Fox News segment on the genius of President Bush. Is he everybody's hero or a saint sent from heaven above?
Live coverage on CNN 24 hours a day. Is the war justified? We'll show you a video of thousands of protesters yelling at each other, then back to the battlefield where U.S.-led troops are meeting stiff resistance from egg-throwing Iraqi citizens.
Hello, Chris Matthews, MSNBC. I don't know why I'm yelling, but our reporters in Iraq share heart-wrenching stories of American heroism through green screen night vision cameras, and then we'll take you back to the States to meet their families in heavily edited segments featuring dramatic music that will bring even the manliest man to convulsing tears. Why am I yelling? I don't know!
Only on Al Jazeera will you find the truth about the war in Iraq. Tonight we show you the merciless, bloody murder of millions of innocent Arabs by evil U.S. forces as they desperately try to raise their kill ratio to hide their failing leadership.
It's 14-1. One thing we all agree on is we missed the Iraqi information minister badly. He was a real hoot. He was like our chuckle of the day. Sometimes twice a day.
We need to get him his own show.
He was really, in fact, maybe that would be good. Maybe they could show him a series of clips compiled on there on Iraqi TV. Here's the bullshit that you were hearing about, the Americans are all gone, they're not here. Just look around you. He's gone. Hauled ass, baby, just like I said yesterday, like Tom Don't Like Us, left in the middle of the night with a suitcase full of cash. Only Tom didn't have no cash, just that stupid leather jacket. Here you go. I talked about this before, about Michael Itchin Powell, son of our Secretary of State. The nation's top media regulator warned broadcasters this week that the FCC will take extreme action, including revoking broadcast licenses for egregious violations of the Commission's indecency rules. Which means, to make a long story short, you won't be hearing George again. While FCC Chairman Michael Powell has been one of the most vocal advocates against government intervention in free speech, he told the National Association of Broadcasters that there were limits to his patience. Although Powell expressed his long-standing concern about government intervention in free speech, saying he gets queasy when the government is the editor, he says the Commission would use its full power in extreme cases. Our rules run to the licensee, Powell said when asked about the Commission's willingness to go to the mat over indecency. At some point, enough is enough. Last week, the Commission announced its intent to levy a $27,500 fine for indecency against Infinity Broadcasting Operation Inc.'s WKRK-FM in Detroit and warned broadcasters that future indecency violations put their license at risk. You didn't believe me when I was telling you this before. Ye of little faith. In its notice of apparent liability, the FCC said a WKRK broadcast between 4:30 and 5 p.m. January 9th of 2002 included explicit and graphic sexual and exculpatory references during separate discussions with 9 individuals. Hear what I said? With 9 individuals. According to materials gathered by the FCC, discussion on the Deminsky and Doyle show, Deminsky and Doyle show included talk of breast size, masturbation, defecation, and anal and oral sex, George. Anal and oral sex. I just mentioned that in passing, okay? You listening, Georgia, North Carolina? While Powell wouldn't directly discuss the he said he felt comfortable with the Commission's decision and that the Commission has the power to pull a station's license. This will never be an easy question, he said. Only under the most egregious, willful, repeated flouting of the law will justify that penalty. But on the other hand, revocation is an option under the law. Powell challenged the idea that Commissioner Michael Copps is pushing that media consolidation is aiding and abetting and coarsening the media. Actually, it's the hyper-competitiveness that's causing the, oh yeah, right. In the days of Walter Cronkite and the sort of golden oligopoly, the public interest could be a little more than what interests the public. You could have an opportunity to serve vegetables with dessert. But in the modern media age, with changing morals in different media outlets, has pushed broadcasters closer to the line. What I find today is it's so hyper-competitive that if you're on the air and you're not willing to do the things that draw the interest of the guy next door, they will, he said. As soon as they do, you're in a competitive struggle with those people. In an interview with reporters after Powell's comments, Copps challenged the chairman to examine the issue. I think that's certainly worthy of attention and analyzation, Copps said. Equally worthy of attention and analysis is the relationship between the rising tide of media consolidation and the rising tide of indecency on the airwaves. I don't know the answer to the first question. I don't know the answer to the second question. I don't look forward to voting without answering those questions, but that's what we're doing. So there's the debate again, the battle. The lines have been drawn in the sand, and don't mention your gland, okay, because Michael Powell's getting pissed off and fired up. And I bet you John Ashcroft is saying, you go, boy. Guaranteed. Egging him on. The Pleasure Police, you ain't seen nothing yet, man, I'm telling you. Patriot Act, not just Patriot Act 2, Patriot Act 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9.
Patriot Act 4 ever.
That's right. In fact, I think there are going to be a whole bunch of Patriot Acts.
About 30, man.
That's right. You mark my words. And all I can say about that is, let's go Patriots! Oh! What's wrong with that? Let's go Tommy Brady, baby. He still looks good to me. Boy, they're good. They're really good. They're going to kick some Dolphin ass. I can't wait till football season. I'm serious. I mean, these Stanley Cup playoffs, oh, the stress from that second period last night. You notice all the hockey calls we had today?
No.
None. So typical of this town, of this station, of this crowd. Just sad. Islanders upset Ottawa right there in Ottawa in the first game 3-0 as their choking, gagging sounds from Jacques Martin and that crowd start coming out. We could hear it through the set. Could hear it right through the TV set. All those froggy, croaking sounds. Bruins are going to, remember the Bruin fan that called a few days ago? What do you think of my team? What'd I tell him? 4 straight, baby. Got no chance. I'd like to see them upset Jersey because I hate New Jersey. They make me ill. And Edmonton beats Dallas. Every damn year when Edmonton makes it, they play Dallas. So let's kick their ass again. Looks good to me. 2-1 last night. Nice going, boys. What are you nodding your head about? How many minutes of those games last night did you watch?
About 30, man.
You didn't watch 30 seconds.
No. Well, the highlights.
Why?
And the highlights count.
You saw the highlights?
Yeah.
You see Alexander McGillney and his 3 goals, his hat trick?
No.
Asshole.
Guess I didn't see all the highlights.
12:51 at 560 WQAM. I'm surrounded by lemmings, man. Lemmings. This guy, all he knows is, beans. That's all he wants. Bean counter. Which is a good thing you got your check today because, believe me, that's what's in the envelope. Beans. When Clarence came, shut that door. I thought I smelled a little residue. We got the Mad Dog coming up from the Masters where it's rained out today. Boy, I tell you, the timing on this was magnificent. But he's having a good time. That's all we care about. We love the Mad Dog. Glad he's having a good time. And wait till he hears about Moe. Ho, 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 ho. I want a correction on the Moe Howard David show tomorrow about that crap about Jews can't belong to Augusta. I think that's, he better do a retraction on that. Don't you think?
If it's not true, he better.
It sounds really inflammatory to me. It sounds anti-Semitic to me, coming on the air and talking a bunch of crap. So either that's what he was referring to, because he didn't say that specifically, either that or they have a list, and he and Goldie and Robert Grieper are on the list, which we could easily understand. 12:52 at QM, let me say happy anniversary for the umpteenth time to our good friends at Brandy's Shoes in Pompano Beach, because this year I've been celebrating my 27th anniversary in town, and they've celebrated their 25th. Great minds work alike. Any independent family shoe store that's been around for nearly a quarter of a century has got to be doing many, many things right, like offering a fantastic selection of men's and women's famous brand shoes, including Rockports, Echoes, Mephisto, Timberland, Clarks, SAS, Florsheim, and lots more. Wide range of sizes, whether you got little tiny teeny feet like baby feet or big fat ones. Men's sizes 6 to 15, women's 5 to 12, and widths from very narrow to the very, very wide, like probably Janet's got. And don't forget their professional sales staff make sure you get a perfect fit every time with real great service. And with over 40,000 pair of shoes in stock in their 8,000 square foot mega store in their gigantic showroom, you'll certainly almost never hear, sorry, Mr. or Lady, we don't have what you want in stock. They got it, and you'll love it. Brandy's a great, great place to take your feet to shop for shoes, and the rest of you too. Brandy's at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach, open daily 9 to 9, and Sundays 10 to 5. And don't forget, all this week at Brandy's, it's a great time to buy SAS shoes. Take 20% off all men's and women's SAS styles, and be sure to visit Brandy's Shoes at brandyshoes.com.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
I already have a homosexual relationship with Neil, so I might as well have one with you, too.
Yes, somebody submitted hee-haw. It's on there. It's already going to vote.
The Middle Eastern world
Thank you.
will be exploded. Saddam had people killed with the gas that we sold him. First-time aggressor nation and the only one that's going. Now more blood will be spilled to get that oil flowing. Forget about Korea and the nukes they're toting, and the right wing is drilling it over and over into our heads. That Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction.
Aquí.
3,000 people killed are now forgotten. Let's exploit them instead. Hey, there's oil to be gotten. Going after Saddam to placate Osama. There's no longer mention of the name Bin Laden, but no one seems concerned. All comfy and complacent, believing every word of this cartel administration that controls us by fear through media manipulation. And the right wing is drilling it over and over into our heads. Yes. That Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. The loss of civil rights is the price that we're paying. We're all suspects now, Nazi Ashcroft is saying. I have nothing to hide, table talkers all are saying. Blind obedient cattle don't have any reservation. Without unprovoked battle and world annihilation. Old regimes must fall and Halliburton installed with no objection at all. Democrats don't have the balls, and the right wing is drilling it over and over into our brainwashed heads. Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction.
Oh, we're fine.
Only Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction.
1258 560 WQAM. Here's Chris with the facts, who says, when I watch the news, see the murderous Rick Sanchez, it makes me sick that he's not that he's on the air and not in prison. By the way, is that guy still dead? I can't help but think what the family of that poor man that Rick ran over and killed must feel when they see his smirking face on national TV giving his righteous opinion of freedom. P.S. The show, and you'll love this, the show does seem better with George not there. When he returns, I hope he concentrates on producing and not being your laugh track. Remember the bird? Stay healthy, says Chris. Excellent points, Chris. Now, the first thing we're going to have to do is, really clean out this studio and a lot of the 360, a lot of the stuff, because George, when he fills in, has the habit of, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
George's concept of doing the show is to see how much he can get away with, how many bleeped words he can start. And I keep trying to tell him that when I was Knickers, okay, there's no such thing as shock radio anymore. It's all been tried. It's all been done. People have heard all the bleeps, all the words. That's not what's entertaining anymore. It's juvenile. And, of course, George being juvenile and being desperate to get laid, that's basically where his life is coming from. That's his whole focus on life. So maybe we ought to send him out to a focus group and leave him there. Now, he'll be back next week. Well, he thinks he's coming back. He'll be back in town next week.
Damn.
I'm not so... Well, I didn't say he'll be back working next week. Anyway, 500 and some odd votes. Neil Rogers Show 98, which we're going to be starting in Baghdad next Monday. South Park movie 81. Jerry Springer, although the show will be heavily edited, I will tell you that. You know how they keep saying ahead like the Iraqi government was editing the reports? Well, it's going to be the same when we have the Neil Rogers Show in Baghdad. It's going to be like that. Kind of like that. Anyway, we got the Mad Dog from Augusta next, who ought to have a real exciting show with that rain out up there, and he's probably pouring it inside. And then we got Hank, the Humper 3, who I'm sure is waiting right outside the door to discuss hockey and Oceanic Cup playoffs with me.
Bye. The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Howard David's a bitch.